Shit, yeah.
Good evening, travelers and adventurers, and welcome to tonight's epilogue of Decay Within the Ice. Hi, lovelies!
Yahoo!
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, Mina, you're off
It
center.
really was.
Let me fix that.
It really was jarring hearing you not say
Hello.
tonight's session. It was kind of like jolted
I
a little
know.
bit.
I
It
know.
was
This
weird.
Well,
this
if you
is
think
surreal.
this is like a session, but kinda not really. We're more just like gonna be doing a lot of talking rather than playing.
Yeah.
That's what we usually
What
do.
do you mean? That's
Well,
D&D.
yeah,
D&D is
sure.
all talking. That's it.
Occasionally
Yeah.
Also-
you roll dice and do math.
Hi, Dread. Hi, Gruta. Hi, Krim.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Wait, are you-
lovelies.
Are you telling me we're just math teachers?
Ew.
No. Also, there's
All we do is talk and do math.
there's some sizing fuck ups
We
here.
never
I gotta
give
fix
enough
this.
Yeah, I'm a little tiny.
Yeah, you're
even
kinda
for
s-
Alvaro.
Excuse me, that's accurate.
And why the fuck is Mina the size of a regular human?
I think I resized them for art.
Yeah.
Mina has played for the Lakers before. She's actually very tall.
Lakers.
Mina was a
Not
bench
seeing
member
anything
of the
potion-wise.
1992 LA Lakers team.
That's gonna be good enough. Canon Alvaro size.
Now.
Roleplayed by role-playing game? Never.
There'd be no shot that Alvaro would come up to Audrey's shoulder. Just no shot.
Yeah, actually, she does, buddy. She used to be on the LA Lakers team.
She's 5'5".
Wait,
I forget, how tall was she as an Eladrin?
5'6",
and how
Oh, okay.
tall is she as a
3'9",
as a goober?
3'9".
As a goober?
You need to lower Elvira much.
She's
lower
wearing
down.
heels. Don't forget.
Okay, but her eyes should be at the
Those heel
top of her,
boots.
like at the top of the purple part.
No, because it. Okay, and then what about you?
I can
No,
fly.
wait. How tall are people?
I'm on my broom. My broom fly.
Audrin, how
I
tall?
can cast enlarge
5'10".
5'10"? Okay.
Yeah.
Aurora, you're I think one of the tallest.
I'm the same height as you.
Okay, so like 6'1"-ish, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. All
I
right.
forget how tall Humi is frequently.
Humi's
Six-
tall.
He's a tall
He's
motherfucker.
tall and
Yeah,
slender.
but he's a string bean.
Humi's a little
Yeah.
alive,
Humi's
alive.
a little fucking slender man looking ass.
slender
Yeah,
man.
that's the point. Changeling, baby. That's slightly unsettling, but yes.
Often get asked to sing "It's a Small World" after all. Alvaro gets dragged off, kicking and screaming to like Nectar's production of It's a Small.
It's fucking Feywild World.
Alvaro went on to play Tiny Tim in Christmas Carol
That's just your epilogue.
God dang.
in Palmerton Theater.
And Alvara, who was not dead.
She actually recovered. God bless us, everyone.
God bless us, everyone.
So, where
What
do
if
we
every
leave off?
time Elvira died, they just got smaller?
That time she got reincarnated even smaller.
Just like
Please, no.
every time, like 10% smaller.
Keep dividing.
Every time she says something rude, she gets a size class lower. And it's
So
not,
what,
it
she's a
doesn't take-
microscope at this
It
point?
doesn't take too long before she's like a molecule.
She could do real damage as a molecule.
Can she?
I mean, depending on what molecule, yeah.
Fair. Fair.
You only need one molecule sometimes in order to really fuck shit up.
This is like a really fucked up version of Pinocchio.
I keep trying to get some of the gang to watch that Gruta, but no one will watch it with me.
I said I would, I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Oh.
I watched a couple episodes and I just was not interested. I'm so sorry.
That is entirely fair.
I have not tried
What?
to watch it.
That time I got
honest.
reincarnated as a slime.
Oh,
I haven't
I'm not
seen
really
that.
into those types of animes.
Isekai.
Yeah.
I think it's
Isekai.
interesting.
I like the premise mostly because I wish to escape my mortal coil.
That's valid.
It's slow in the beginning.
I mean, we have 21 minutes to go, right?
What, for small talk?
No. 11.
No.
11,
Hold on,
not
hold on.
21.
11.
Also, if you
Oh.
think about it, viewer inspo is not really a thing, so we have extra time.
It's true.
And
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think in honor of the epilogue of the true final episode, we should not do small talk. We should do big talk.
talk,
How are we
big
gonna
talk.
change the world, guys?
Through Dungeons and Dragons, sir.
Yes, we could all be like our heroes and change the world.
I don't think my singing voice is that good. I don't know.
Well, did
I
you
could
try?
Well, I got like shit thrown at me last time I tried.
Well, now
I'll
hold
try
on a
again,
second.
but-
Was Humi a singing bard this whole time? I thought Humi had
Oh
like an instrument.
God no. They are skills bard. They do fun gymnastics, but
Oh,
I'm
okay. I was gonna
definitely
say
not capable of doing
because
that.
I'm finding out on the final episode, like Humi is like sings like I.
Yeah, hold in for the big one. It's only been like what 2 months in total?
1.
1 month in total? Yeah.
Wait, what's been 1 month?
Like the
This whole
total length of the campaign.
It's been more than 1 month. We did
I
spend a good amount of time in the grasp, I feel.
There's that, and also like travel times.
I don't think it's been more than like 2 months though.
No.
It's
Oh,
been
no.
like a month and a half
Honestly,
at best.
That's
Even
what I was
with
gonna
travel
say,
times,
yeah.
it's been genuinely a month.
That's kind of like horrifying.
Yeah.
We are very efficient. We
uh,
are 12 times slower than the calendar.
A lot can change in a month.
Yeah, that's true.
We did
Elvira
also
looks down.
through
Just kidding.
day by day, like 2-hour intervals at a time,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which mathematically
We have a
fits.
bad habit of just.
Well, there was no DT because it was kind of like a emergency campaign too. It was like you're dying.
Like, hey, you're dying and the world is
wasn't-
dying. What are you
It
doing?
wasn't like, hey, you have 2 weeks of downtime while
Yeah.
the curse progresses. It just
But we
wasn't a
still
thing.
managed to make like one day last what 4 episodes? 3? 4.
We're really
We
good
made
at
one
that.
day last like 12 episodes when we did the investigation.
That was not
Yep.
12.
No,
No
but it was more
way.
than 4.
Hi, Aztec.
I'll believe it if
Oh.
it was like 6,
No.
5 or 6 episodes,
I
but
think it was
not more
8.
than that.
I'm pretty sure it was 8.
There's no way. I have to look back. Oh my god. Because I think that's when Volana was still there, I think. No, I don't remember. Wait, yes, it was.
Volana
was-
was only there for 2 days, but it took us like 12 sessions to get through.
I know, so it felt like she was there for so much longer. Well, no, I was there for more than a few days because we spent one day at the Abbey. I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. This is important information.
I
Write
think
this down, write this down.
she was with you guys for under 5 days. I know that. I think more than 2, but like under 5.
It was not very long.
Mm-mm. That's why she, like, out of character because we had so many sessions. It was like session 25 or 26 she left. We were like, what? But like in the game, it was literally like 3 days. So it was hard to like to have her leave, you know, because like realistically, she doesn't know these people, but like we played so much together.
Plot twist, Phlox also died to a boulder, the same one that killed Volana off screen.
What?
Oh,
Is that what
Ow.
killed
I
Volana?
have
Boulder?
really good news.
Yeah.
Zach, I have really good news. Winter said Volana is alive, but I cannot have Yukon, and I said that's fair. So she confirmed.
Felt like
it.
that was a fair stipulation.
Well, she told me 10 minutes ago that you could have Yukon, but you both died 10 minutes after.
God.
What we're asking
Volana
is,
was
do you
dead
press the
alive.
button? Do you press the button?
So sorry, Zach, but the joke. I mean, you can keep running with it, but she's alive. We can't do that.
Unfortunately, Volana should have kept running for that boulder, but she died.
Hey, Zach, I will say, bad
Sentient
news.
boulder.
I did find a typo in the recaps, but I will not tell you where.
Oh
my
no.
God.
I usually do catch them. Is it in the recent one or is it in an older one?
You don't know.
It's fine.
It's
If
fucked
it's in a
up,
recent
man.
one, I'll usually catch it as I read it.
That boulder reminds me of like those fucking sentient boulders in Elden Ring.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, those are fucking
Those
annoying.
fucking suck, dude. When you're not ready for it.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a minute. What?
When you think you dodge.
When you think you dodged it, the boulder's just like, no.
No.
I'm a
You're
boulder.
actually getting steamrolled right now.
You're like, I'm gonna just change. Yeah, it's like they just changed their fucking direction. Like, okay.
Or the chariots.
Oh, the chariots are annoying. If, like, you don't have your timing right, that shit sucks.
Or just anything in the swamp biome level.
Anything in the swamp. And then you get so
Fucking
nervous
like
opening chests because you don't know where it will take you.
Every time I came to a chest, I would just hit it before I opened
Just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm like...
You're traumatized from Dark Souls, aren't you?
That's what I mean.
The boulder has conflicting feelings about smashing this bunny.
Hey, yo.
Hey,
The boulder is just straight neutral in its alignment. It judges things. Can I make an Earth Ganassi that's actually just like a sentient, but like flavored as like a sentient boulder
yeah, why not?
in a future campaign?
Oh my god, have you guys seen...
Everyone heard this, right?
This is
Yeah.
a reoccurring thing
Write that
that I
down.
always see. And it's real, and it was published in some paper years ago, and I think I saw it in 2016, but it's the one where it's my 2016 resolution was no more blowjobs. midnight, I had a C word in my mouth.
God.
You guys have never seen that article? That
No,
article that
no.
actually
No.
exists?
No.
That actually didn't really pop up for me on like suggested articles.
Is the C word cock? You can say cock.
I know, I just wasn't sure.
And honestly, the fact that you said C word made it sound like it was almost like more inappropriate.
I think it's your cock.
Like just say cock.
Cock.
No, don't say it that.
Maybe they're talking about like a rooster, right? Like they went to
You could
Popeyes,
say
had
it
a
a
nice
little.
chicken sandwich.
He's a
Yeah,
real
it's
sucker.
very
Christian
innocent, but-
loves oral sex. Oh my god. Every time this diva pops
Why
up.
are we talking?
Alright,
about
we're starting the session now.
this? Yeah, it's time.
One way to get everybody to start the session. I'll just-
So when we last left our heroes, we don't
wait,
have any
should I read-
inspiration.
I gotta read the recap.
I know, I'm saying we don't have inspiration.
Yeah, we're uninspired.
Oh yeah.
There's no
No.
community inspo, there's no player inspo, because this is the end.
Oh, you, my friend.
Did we have any
Hi,
players
Max.
or community inspiration left?
I
That
mean,
we
what?
We have like one or two left. For
Of your
the,
viewer inspos? Yeah, there's like, I think 2 left,
when
and...
we stabilize.
Do those
Yeah, we
go
should
for
use those
Strahd,
if
or-
necessary for...
By the way, in case
I
anyone
mean, it's a little
was,
late, they're like
was
gone.
curious, well, if we need to stabilize these people or something. If anyone is curious, the recaps spanned a total of 40 pages on Google.
Wow.
Mm.
Holy schmoly, good work.
Great
We
job.
can make a short chapter book.
Yeah. Good, and if you guys want to make a booklet.
A little Decay Within the Ice book.
Yeah, a small little novella.
Honestly, I would want to reformat it to be like an actual, more like a story than like just like session.
We could make a zine.
Yeah.
Somebody contact Dragon. Get them to revive the periodical for us.
We should rewrite it entirely in a code that no one can decipher.
Oh, so it's just Strahd's diary.
Yes.
Well, how about we get into some inspiration? Not inspiration, I meant the recap.
No.
For the last time.
One more time. I will write a recap for this finale session, although I doubt I'll be reading it. But everybody else will. No, alright. The finale session. The party began with Cliff messaging Adelaide, Ruru's aunt, who confirmed the city was in peril, many of them having fled underground. Lady Thorne was missing, and an attempt to scry from Alvara yielded nothing. Cliff then messaged Galloway, who confirmed that Lady Thorne didn't make it, and that they were hiding under the city along with Humi's daughter. Humi conducted a seance to scry, seeing their daughter nestled with Adelaide as they vowed to rescue her. After a few days of travel, the party approached the city, attempting to destroy the staff to prevent the ritual, but unfortunately Cliff's prayers for divine intervention went unanswered. The party continued as Mina prepared a hero's feast and cast aid. They then stormed through the streets of Balradin as a possessed Arania's voice resonated through their minds. They carved through hordes of zombified citizens, whites that were former residents of the city brought back to serve a more sinister purpose. They arrived before Arania, who stood in front of the cathedral. explaining the party was chosen by Merkel for their potential, but now, bringing the final piece to summon his avatar and refusing to cooperate with his design, they were no longer required.
You actually put that in there.
Actually did! She morphed into a gigantic spider creature, almost Strider-esque in form. Aldrin dashed underneath her, readying a strike as Alvara cast Eldritch Blast and responded with a hellish rebuke, while Arania struck the party with a thundering scream. Aurora then struck her and soaked up some damage as Mina took significant damage from Arania and her lair itself. Arania subsequently turned to finish off Mina with a disintegration blast, but Alvara disrupted this effort with a counterspell. Alvara then cast Eye Bite, damaging Arania further and sickening her, crippling her ability to attack. Meanwhile, Cliff landed a strike as well, before she responded by lashing out as Aurora and Aldrin took even more damage. Mina, emboldened and fighting with adrenaline flowing, activated her archer form, striking at Arania with radiant damage. As the fight grew on, Mina and Humi did a bit of restorative work before Aurora and Aldrin continued slashing at a weakened Arania. As Mina did more healing, she flew toward the fountain, where Arania cast Power Word Kill on her and she fell. Dead. Holy shit.
Wow.
Humi, meanwhile, had flown into the cathedral and discovered the ritual preparations, which included the other objects required to summon Merkel's champion, along with the deceased Lady Thorn who laid upon the altar. Outside, Cliff picked up the deceased Mina with Revivify, as Humi, Aurora, Alvara, and Aldrin sunk in attacks and struck back with more strikes of their own, as the frightened, courtesy of Humi, Arania began fleeing before cocoons exploded around the party, downing Mina and Cliff and severely injuring many of the others. Aldrin chased after her and flung a dagger, striking her in the abdomen and bringing her to death's door. Alvara then mounted a broom of flying, traveling upwards to lock Arania in her sights before firing off the killing Eldritch Blast. She muttered the word Archfey to herself in a seeming note of self-affirmation. The party began to recover after the fight and deal with the aftermath of having liberated Balradin and having vanquished the great evil threatening the land. That was where we left off.
All right.
Final time.
So before Lovely's out there, we get into the final epilogues of all the characters. We're just going to conclude this little section with some last-minute roleplay, close off the scene, and then we're going to get into everyone's endings. So, where we last left our heroes, an Eldritch Blast just pierced through Arania, and she fell to the ground, seeping, her eyes still glowing before finally fading into a dim darkness. Before you. What's everyone doing?
Oh my
I am gonna fly towards the, once I take a moment to process what the fuck just happened.
I have to put you down again, don't I?
Maybe.
More than likely.
There you are.
Thank you.
You do not exist.
I'm gonna fly towards, the two that were injured on top of the fountain and try to just stabilize them.
Better do it quick.
I'll say it's easy enough to do. We're kind of just working with free time at this point, so with effort, yes, you can stabilize both Cliff and Mina.
Hooray!
I'm gonna check on Lady Thorn.
Okay, you Lady Thorn upon the altar where she lay.
Yes.
She is indeed deceased.
And the items that are on the altar are is there anything different? Anything new? It's just the dagger, the book,
There is a dagger, a book, a circlet, an amulet, and the staff you know is being held by Cliff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch them. I'm gonna walk back.
I'm not gonna touch these things.
I'm gonna just kind of wave over the others as these two come to.
Well, are we coming to, or are we just stabilized?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how you want to flavor it, really.
It's true. Technically, even if you're stabilized, you remain unconscious.
You're unconscious, but
For 1d4 hours, I believe it is.
It's true.
Do we have a health?
I don't
Anyone
know
got
if
any
you-
healing spells or nothing?
I don't know
Or...
if you want them to just stay unconscious while we do this.
Umi
And-
does.
So I have Song of Rest, which is basically 10 minutes after a short rest, or during a short rest, essentially. It would still take time.
But only 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's better than nothing.
I'm gonna
So
fly over to Audrey as this happens.
Okay.
Audrin is still collecting himself from being very nearly on death's door. Sheaths his sword, wipes the blood off his lapels, all in a day's work.
after they are up, Fumi is going to fly around the city.
We're not
calling-
up. I just read
Nope.
Song of Rest. That does not heal. It only lets you add additional healing if
You don't
someone
have
uses
healing
hit
word or
dice.
anything?
Crap. Nope, I guess not.
You
You're
didn't
right.
prepare any healing spells?
Potion? Do we have a potion?
I don't know if we have. You gotta check group lit.
I gave you my last
Let me
one
see,
during
potion.
the
I'm just gonna search for the
dragon
word potion.
fighting.
I remember
I-
we picked up one, I just don't remember who had it.
I have that
was-
potion labeled that potion of water breathing.
Wow.
Remember when I made that? Remember when I made that?
Yeah, you made that.
You did that all on
Great.
your own.
We
Good
can
job.
breathe the
That'd be
blood that
potion
we're
making.
gurgling.
Let me look in my inventory. No. Let me look.
Yeah, I don't know if we
in
actually
group loot
have.
again.
I honestly don't
I
think you guys
definitely
do.
I'm going
I
to
definitely
just
don't.
expend a bunch of bardic inspiration die until I get rolled 1. No. Okay, try it again.
Boy, we're ending with a bang.
Tales from the Beyond is
11. 11. Beautiful. All right. So, I have unlocked through Tales of the Beyond, the Tale of the Angel. And I cast it upon Mina. The target regains hit points equal to 2 rolls of your bardic inspiration die, plus your charisma modifier. And you end 1 condition from the following list: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, petrified, or poisoned.
Okay, Mina's up.
There you go.
I mean, I have an herbalism kit. Does that? Can I do anything with that?
We got the healer
You
up.
can
We're
smell
good.
it.
if you had a healing kit, I know you could use that to like do 1d4 healing.
Herbalism's different, I think.
It is. It is. All right. Well, it's fine. I'm just
Well,
gonna.
I'm up, and now I will cast Cure Wounds on
Yikes!
on our good friend Cliff. I almost called him numbers again.
Really shows you how much healing Mina did this entire.
Did we
fucking campaign.
win?
We won!
We did it!
And I'm immediately
we
going
did
to
it.
fly off.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest.
Everyone's still dead.
This entire campaign would have been much shorter if the enemies literally just focused on me and Cliff instead of anyone else.
hmm
That's true.
My healing is very conditional. I have to get really lucky. But Humi's going to fly off and try to find their daughter.
What happened? Did we win? Where's Arania?
It's over.
She's
And Navarro's just staring at her corpse.
she's dead. She's right here. Dead as a doorknob.
Does that mean it's over? What about the people? What about Baldwin?
Well, a lot of them are underground. I think.
Damn, what's happening with the whites? Like, what are they doing right now? 'Cause I know there were still some left.
Those that had remained, you had seen lumbering around the perimeter of this area. However, after Arania's defeat, you kind of see them just all fall and lay upon the cobblestone, unconscious and or dead.
Right.
I'm gonna dismount my broom.
Is everything just over? Just like that? That's it?
I guess so. I want to look at Elrania's corpse to make sure she's really dead, and also see if anything maybe changes with it. Like, does she transform back to Arania or something? You know, like Hulk losing his powers, or is this something where she just is like dead in this like spider form?
Roll a medicine check to see the status of her.
All right.
I want to do something after.
I would also like
I
to.
actually am pretty good at medicine. And today's no different. 24.
With a 24. I mean, everyone can see this. She does not change back into any previous form. She remains a mangled, twisted, and decaying form of herself. Half spider, half what once was Shadarkai.
We can still save her.
But she is, as far as you can tell, very much dead.
Do I notice anything else with the 24, maybe regarding if I can detect if there was anything, like, I know we mentioned before that it seemed like she wasn't herself. Can I detect if that sort of presence has left her? Or would that require maybe a different type of check?
With that, you can't detect anything. He's just a dead body.
Alright. Search for
Yeah.
corpse for golds and provisions. I'm kidding.
It's guys, the city's ours. We can loot anything we want. No one can stop us.
Alvaro just flies in, grabs a flat screen TV, and flies.
God
It's
damn.
like Black Friday.
Where's the bank? We can go in unimpeded
no.
now.
We have that 10,000 gold we got that we still haven't divvied up. We should just do that
Yeah.
now.
Well-
Before we do that, we should do that like when we're actually ready to split up the party.
So that can just be done at the end, because it's not like you guys are doing any shopping this epilogue.
Actually,
Still feels good
Actually,
to have it.
We need a 4-session shopping episode.
No,
Where's-
there will
what's
be
the
no
horse?
shopping.
With
Now
the
let me
horse.
ask, do we
Uh,
want to do anything in quiet first before I do something very loud?
I did want to roll perhaps a perception check just to see if I can hear or see or find any signs of life.
We have to figure out where everyone
Okay.
fled to.
we should
Well, we
secure
can
those
send a
artifacts as
message
well.
If someone has the spell slots.
That's what I'm doing.
I mean, I was
I'll
just
walk
going
with
to
you.
do Unearthly Chorus. Do like victory music with
I don't think that's going to convince people.
well,
I'm also
Okay,
going to
hold
guide
on.
myself with this, if that's okay, DM.
Yeah, go for it.
Hiya! That's unfortunate.
I was gonna say, aren't you gonna use your reborn feature, but
No, but I am going to use my Wheel and Woe feature.
Where the fuck is There's Mina. Oh,
25
okay.
still.
Aw.
That, a 3 is still, or what is this? 6 is
24.
25 still.
it's a 24.
24. Yeah, regardless.
A 24? With that, you notice that the city around you, it is eerily quiet. It is like a shell of itself from what you can remember. You don't see anyone, you don't hear anything. Any buildings around you have either been boarded up or have just been, not necessarily demolished, but they look a bit ransacked and torn through. It is
Okay.
silent.
I don't like it here. We should try to finish up what we can. See if we can rescue anyone here. It sounds like, well, Humi scried people below ground. It sounds like maybe we could find them.
Yeah, I agree. We need to get to. We need to tell the rest of the whoever's left down there that it's safe.
We should make
Where
sure
the hell did Alvara and Cliff go?
Well, it's not safe
Inside
yet.
the cathedral
we
Yeah.
should
to
we should
secure the
make sure it's
artifacts. Yeah.
Oh, that's
fully
right.
safe before we do anything of the sort. The whites seem to have stopped, but I don't know if there's anything else here. What if there are more spiders or other undeads? I mean, when we came here last time, there were specters that were completely invisible to everyone else, and we've lost the ability to see them if there are any here.
As you say this, Humi's taking out their golden lyre, and they're going to play the song that they played for Arya back in Thorn Manor all those weeks ago.
Okay.
Where, in the temple?
They're flying around as they are basically burning their spell slots,
Oh.
trying to find their daughter.
But you know that she's underground.
Well, it's a 30-foot radius and can be heard from 100 feet away. So if I fly at like street level, I can go at 60 feet per second while covering a good amount of ground. Takes 6 seconds for me to move that 60 feet and cast.
Isn't she with Galloway?
No, she's
Yeah.
with yeah, my aunt too, but
So why don't we
Cliff
just
has-
message
I was
them?
gonna
Yeah,
say, why
Cliff
don't
has sending.
just
You
mess
can just ask them how to get there. So you don't have to expend anything crazy.
Well, it doesn't matter
I
at this point
mean-
anyway, but
Yeah.
I understand.
Fumi,
how
as you
Fumi
fly
might wanna
around
do
the
this
city,
for the flavor.
as you fly around the city, you don't notice any stirring or movement of any life or anyone else within your radius.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna blow the dog whistle. Can I blow the dog whistle? I
Yeah.
still have it. I blow the dog whistle. What do I have to roll for it?
Nothing, because nothing happens.
God damn it. Okay.
Gotta get underground.
What is the dog whistle supposed to do?
It's supposed to get shift.
Oh, it's supposed to summon shift.
Well, he's supposed to hear it. I don't know if Shift is alive. There's a lot going through Humi's mind right now.
There's a chance they're not.
What's going on with do we want to like cut to these because then maybe Steve can send message afterward, or sending?
Yeah, what's the rest of the party doing?
Well, Cliff and I went to secure these artifacts.
Okay.
I'm just gonna head to the chapel and just, I guess, identify what was being guarded and if there's anything else remaining that is a threat, and go assist Cliff in any way I can.
Okay.
All
can
right.
I can aid Aldrin in that. Just do
So-
the same thing.
So, Alvara, I'm a little concerned that, simply even touching these artifacts may or may not have a bad outcome. So I'm going to prepare Remove Curse, and I'm going to ask that you pick them up one by one, and if it looks like one of them cursed you, I'm going to remove the curse, and we'll know not to touch that one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure I want to volunteer for that.
Does anyone have the ability to detect magic?
I normally do, although that fight took a lot out of me. I could rest for a little bit, and then I suppose I might be feeling up for it again.
I feel like this is a time-sensitive thing.
I'll
Yeah, I
hold
know. I'm
artifacts
just
if
saying
you
that.
really want.
Minimum of spell slots.
All right, Aurora, you want
I'll
to be
hold
the cursed skinny pig? In particular, I'm interested in that book.
I'm gonna step aside and let Aurora step up to do this.
I'll
Will I
pick
just
up the
watch?
book.
And I'll prepare Remove Curse.
You pick up the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened?
Nothing.
Nothing?
What does it say?
It's
Aurora?
cold and old and dusty.
Can I open it?
Sure.
It's written in a language that I probably don't understand, though.
It is indeed written in a language that you do not understand, with many, many pages scrawling with various inscriptions and sigils.
Almora, do you understand this language? Cliff? Anybody?
Give me a few moments and I might be able to. I'm gonna look at it real quick. Is it anything I recognize which is now Sylvan and Goblish?
It is not.
Oh my god,
Okay.
that's great.
Okay, what
You
about
have
the
to
other
Languages?
items.
Or no?
Well, no, I do have a, Give me 1 second, I just want to make sure I have this as a ritual spell. Book of Ancients. Okay, hold on. You can keep going with the RP, but I might have something I want to circle back to this, so just go ahead.
I'll just put the book back down for now and pick up. Alright, which item next?
the circlet.
Okay. I pick up the circlet.
This is our first time seeing the circlet, right?
No, you've seen it before upon Arania's head.
Oh, that's right.
It is dainty and silver with thin filigree along it. a deep set dark green gem within the center.
Do you
That's
feel
pretty.
cursed?
Do I feel cursed?
No, you don't really feel anything.
I don't really feel anything. Hey, Cliff, do you have detect magic? I mean, I'm
I'm
assuming.
pretty sure they're magic. We can assume that they're magic.
Yeah.
It also might be something where we need to bond with the item in some way for it to,
I ain't
it
doing
to
that.
show its effects.
It's also very possible that these items aren't even cursed, they were just used for some sort of sinister purpose.
I think, if anything, the book's slightly likely cursed, but maybe just with, like, forbidden knowledge. Maybe it's only if you understand it that...
Good thing I don't understand it. Okay, next item.
Amulet.
Pick it up.
One amulet.
You
Do I
pick
die?
up the amulet.
Am I alive still?
You're
Have we
alive.
We've
Okay.
only seen Arania wearing it.
Yes. She had also taken the amulet at some point.
Do we know anything else about these items? Was there anything about it in the books, or does Polias know anything about them? Could I message him?
No.
We don't know
No,
anything
you
about
can't
these
message,
things?
or no, we can't.
No, of course you can message him, but no, you don't know anything about them. You've never tried detecting anything with them.
What if we destroyed them?
Can we, like... Alright, now that we know that touching them doesn't curse you, can... Alvara, you are good with the arcane. Why don't you, like, meditate on them and like, feel their magics and try and understand what they do?
It's not really how it works. You usually need to detect their magical properties, which requires using a spell. I can do a little bit with my arcana knowledge, but I'm not really sure I'll get anything specific.
I thought if we spent some time, we might be able to glean some information.
That's with the book, right, Alvara?
I was gonna try with
No,
the
they
serpent.
need an hour to get their spell slots back and cast
I get
detect
my
magic.
spell
Is what they're
slots
saying.
back in an hour. I can cast detect magic. I can also cast comprehend languages.
Yeah.
I thought on a short rest, you were able to meditate on an object and identify some of its abilities.
You can do that for arcane magical items, right? Is there a
Think
rule about it?
so? Hold on. Because there's
I know
also
we've
the
done that in
spell
the past.
Identify.
And that's just a faster means.
And you use a short rest to identify a magic item. Yes, there's text in the magic items chapter that tells you exactly that. Raw yes from the DMG. Alternatively, a character can focus on one magic item during a short rest while being in physical contact with the item. At the end of the rest, the character learns the item's properties as well as how to use them.
So it's
Why
just you
don't-
spend a long rest to know an item.
A short rest.
A short rest, rather.
But yeah, you can.
That's just up to. Do we want to
Why don't we each
I'm
grab one
fine
and...
taking
the hour?
time. I'm fine taking the time to do that.
I just feel like, it's important to make sure, like, that we know what these... I mean, we know what they do, sort of, maybe.
We have an
bad
idea,
things,
but not, like, the actual
Yeah, like, I
knowledge.
want to make sure, like,
Alright.
before we go get anybody, that this is taken care of,
So there's 5 of us and 5 magic items right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we already know what the staff does.
I'll take
Yeah.
the circlet.
I'm just gonna take the amulet, I guess.
I can't identify anything.
You can have the dagger.
But I'll hold them.
I'll hold them. I'll hold the
Now,
staff
hold
while
on
you
a minute.
guys.
If anyone's having a dagger, it should be me.
Alright, Audrey, you take the dagger.
Thank you, Connie.
And then that leaves you with the book, Cliff.
Well, let's hope it's not a bad dagger.
Bad daggers are my
I-
specialty.
I'm going to be honest, I tend to believe that all of these items might be perhaps not evil, but at least not good.
Hoist.
Well,
Hoist.
let's say an hour goes by.
So you
I'm
spend
going
a short
quickly.
rest. What's that, Humi?
I'm just going to search for the town people in that hour.
Okay. I'm going to tell you that within that hour, your search will unfortunately be fruitless. They are hidden deep underground using passages you are not aware of.
That's probably for the best, to be
Yes,
Yeah, at least they knew how to hide. Fuck.
not safe yet. Potentially.
Okay. So, short rest goes by. I'm going to send each of you a message that are meditating on a certain item.
We're all getting cursed, aren't we?
Oh boy.
And during this short rest, anyone that's meditating on an item, I would like you to make an Arcana check just on top of this, please.
I'll do it.
Zach, you said you're doing the amulet, right?
The amulet, correct.
Alright. Here you go.
16 is the check.
Is there any chance I could do something?
I'm
this
gonna
can do?
run
Xena?
around and give everyone guidance before they start meditating on these
Okay.
items.
What am I meditating on? What's
You're
left?
you're not.
Okay.
You're just holding the staff and staring at all of us with an inquisitive
No,
look.
it's my staff.
Well, shoot, but you have to hold the book.
Andy, here you go.
Thank you.
Staff and a book at the same time.
Who's doing the book? Cliff?
No, I have the staff of Marine.
Well, you have. Well, somebody has to look at the book though right now. Otherwise, we're not going to know what the hell the book does.
Although the book seems to be what drove Arania mad.
Why is Aurora not doing the book?
Because Saracana's what, 0?
Well, I don't see.
I
you can
have
still.
a +1.
I'm gonna
because
be
my-
perfectly honest, guys. I don't know that Aurora would be able to do the book because it is a
Right.
magic book full of like spell work and shit. And
Yeah.
like, I just don't really understand how in character
Okay.
that would make sense.
That's fair. Is it all right with you if Audrin tries to figure out anything magical going on with the dagger? He's not a super magical guy, but he does have the magic initiate feat. His mother was a witch. She's got some.
The dagger
basic
at
knowledge.
least
Oh,
can.
no, like-
You'll see when I send you this. The dagger can at least make a little sense. I highly urge someone with just like a little bit of character sense to take the book.
All right, I'll do the book.
We'll take it. We'll take a 15.
Everyone add guidance as well to your rolls.
Oh yeah. 15 plus 4. D4.
Well, how long? Guidance. I mean, GM's already.
16. We'll take it.
I'm also gonna get all my spell slots back. If you want, I can comprehend languages in the book. It's a 19 total for the Arcana check in the
You go
amulet.
crazy.
Flaccid 20 for me.
Navarra's already
You got a
going
flaccid
crazy.
20?
Yeah.
It's a little catalyst.
Okay, let me look at everyone's Arcana roll. Everyone just say aloud what they got again, Zach.
19.
19, Derek.
16.
Okay. Andy,
Flaccid 20.
flaccid 20, and
Heyo.
Cliff with a flaccid 20.
Flaccid.
Okay. I'm gonna send both of you something else.
You all go insane right now. Except me, I'm gonna frickin' lose it.
I think it'd be really funny actually at the end of the campaign.
We all just turn evil and we try to complete the
Hey.
ritual. Anyway.
Arania's
No,
like
no,
spirit
no.
just possesses one of us. We all become spiders.
I would leave. I would
Mina
just
becomes
walk
a
out.
flying spider.
I think this is a great end, frankly.
If we
Feel
all
like
just-
if any
everybody
of them-
ever became evil. Oh well, Humi's not holding anything.
Take
Who
a
has to
skippy
fight
and,
all
and
of us at
stop
once.
shrimping.
Huh?
Oh my
Just-
god, thank you for that. I
Whoa,
did
yes,
not
yes.
realize
Hey,
how...
thank you for the hydrate check and hydrate sippy and posture check.
Oh yeah, I was kinda hunched over.
Alright, I messaged everyone some information, so share as you will.
Ah yes, my information. It's right here.
Aurora
Oh.
looks up from like a little booklet that she's pulled out of her pocket with some reading glasses. Just like, yes. I too have done my studies.
Do we notice, like, with our Arcana checks, do we notice anything in addition to what you sent us?
I already sent you that.
I only got one line of text, but I'll read it. I do believe this is an amulet that provides some sort of spectral carapace, a sort of shield on oneself. It has sort of an attunement property depending on how proficient the wearer is. Out of character. Can I just read it?
Yeah, out of character you can.
You can cast a shield on yourself, an amount per day equal to your proficiency bonus. Or you can get the spell shield. So that's what the amulet does.
I'm gonna be very honest. I'm glad Arania did not have these on her possession when we fought her.
Yeah, that would have been really bad.
Anybody else?
Did anyone else find anything? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Audrey,
sitting
you go
inside.
first.
Oh yeah, I've seen all manner of daggers and bladed weapons in my day. This one is of a nasty make. Doesn't make me right comfortable to hold it. Seems to me it'll deal a nasty amount of damage with the poison that's on the blade upon
The
hit.
damages.
For instance, one could say that it would, on a critical hit, the dagger would deal an additional 2d10 necrotic damage that cannot be healed outside of Greater Restoration or Wish. Right
Sorry,
nefarious,
that's
if you're asking me.
important.
Mine also has an interesting ability. It allows the wearer to turn invisible a few times a day based on how proficient you are with the magic. But I also found something deeper. I only caught a wisp of it, but there's some kind of dark and incredibly sinister magic seated deep within it. I almost didn't even recognize it. It's as thin as spider silk, but it's there. I have a feeling that these items are, in fact, cursed. It's just almost impossible to tell.
I must have missed that. I'm gonna look down at this thing again and cast. Now that we're at the end of the short rest, detect magic and see. It's like a 30-foot radius, so I should be able to see everything.
Yeah, with that you would get all of it.
Can you ritual cast that?
You
Or
can.
do you not have the ritual ability as a warlock?
That might be one of the ones I took as a ritual cast. It's part of the Book of Ancient Secrets, so yeah, it's a ritual cast. Or Book of Ancient Shadows. So yeah, it would be ritual cast. So it's not an instant, but I'll take the time toward the end of the rest to do that.
Cliff?
Yeah, speaking of books, this one seems to be a book of dark ritual magics. Would permit the casting of several unholy spells, and meditating upon it, I came to a greater understanding about the nature of these items in general, which is just as Mina described. These are unnatural dark magics, and I would caution everyone never to use these items. I have a mind to destroy these, and I really think we ought to dedicate ourselves to doing so. I'm going to start with this staff, but it may take time. I feel like maybe we should, hold on to these for safekeeping. But I implore you all, do not use these items. We
tend to
really need to
agree.
destroy them.
We should try our best to keep them hidden as best as we can. No one outside of this group can know that we have them. We don't know if there's more servants of Merkel hidden away somewhere.
I will say this, upon meditating further and using my own magical abilities, I see the evil you are talking about, although I also recognize that together these objects, all 5 of them, do work in a sort of synergy that make the wielder of them incredibly powerful.
That's, I guess, the draw.
There's set bonuses, basically.
Oh, what kind of abilities would it unlock?
I believe it would make you more resistant to any sort of attack. It would allow you to concentrate more effectively and gives you resistance to certain forms of attacks as well. Also, it might even allow you to have access to certain types of magic. That's what I'm kind of gathering from this. I know this is a lot of information. It's kind of flying around the room at me. I'm trying to make sense of it all. So basically, out of character. The bonuses start around 2 out of the 5. When you have all 5, DM, are you okay with me reading this?
Yeah, go for it.
When you have all 5, it's a +3 AC to spells and saving throws. You get advantage on concentration checks. You have resistance to necrotic and poison damage, and you get access to the 10th level ritual spell, Blood Moon.
Oh.
That ritual spell only comes at the 5th. The resistance comes with 4 of them. The con checks start at 3. The advantage to spells and saving throws start at 2. And the AC varies depending on how many you have. If you only have 1 item, there's no bonuses. Also worth noting. So
We have to do whatever we can to keep these separate until we manage to destroy them. Especially while all 5 still exist.
Alvaro, you can tell with where the pieces were set in the ritual Arania was preparing to cast, you can tell that with the arrival of the missing piece, the staff, she was going to use all 5 as a conduit to cast the 10th level spell Blood Moon.
well, yeah.
What?
Do I know anything about these types of spells, like a Blood Moon ritual spell?
That
or
is a
anything like
very that is a very forbidden magic. But I will pull it up. It is perhaps a magic you've heard about, but not.
I was gonna say I didn't
obviously
have the
seen in
nicest
execution.
patron. Yeah.
Do we?
All right.
You know what this Blood Moon spell does, Alvara? It sounds horrifying.
I'm not really sure.
It
There's legends
respawns all
told
the
of these
monsters in the
spells.
overworld.
These spells tend to be very potent, very powerful. They're not typically known by the average wizard or witch.
They are typically, not typically, but pretty much forbidden, essentially.
They are typically, well, not typically, but essentially forbidden.
I'm going to kill you. I sent you a page that, given your previous patron, I'm sure you would have at least just some slight knowledge of the more forbidden magics of this world.
Yeah, I was gonna say she wouldn't really play by the rules.
So there's a page that has it on it.
A 10th level spell is, I mean, it's hardly something that can be wielded by the average individual. I mean, this is magic that the world hasn't seen in an incredibly long time. Yes, these pieces must be kept from being united again. Otherwise, the consequences could be catastrophic.
How bad is it?
I do believe that she could have perhaps manifested some great evil that would have plagued this land for a very long time. I mean, we're talking about world-changing magic here.
Speaking of which, isn't there a scroll that we have?
At this time, you're going to hear a message. Audrin. From Humi. As they are quickly coming towards you. I can't find them anywhere.
And Audrin's just gonna
As they're
Put-
underground.
he's gonna put the cursed dagger into one of his the dagger sheath that is now empty because he threw one at Rania. And he's gonna turn and say, "All right, well, we know they're underground somewhere safe, and they'd have to be relatively well hidden, else Rania would have found them. You got any ideas? Any leads?"
I was
I'm-
thinking maybe Thorn Manor, but I don't know about any secret passages in town.
Could we contact them? I know we had the ability to message people, right?
Yeah, I can message them, but I'm gonna go up to Audrin, and I'm gonna take the dagger out of the sheath and put it in his coat pocket, and I'm gonna say, this was stolen from me once. These really need to be kept secret. These cannot be, just in sheaths at our side.
All right, it's just pointy things in the pocket can be a little dangerous, but I don't mean to use it.
Especially when they're coated with a devastating poison, of course.
Don't hurt yourself, Audrey, please.
Oh gosh.
He's already not looking great, so he just gives you like a thumbs up.
Cliff just like puts it in his pocket. I'm just like.
Oh, wait, can we expend some hit die?
Yeah, you did.
Hey,
short
Audrey, do you
rest.
I was gonna ask about that, but
Hey, Arjun, do you have a couple quarters? Oh, yeah, let me check real quick.
cuts his finger on it.
Stabs himself.
Well, maybe you should keep it in the sheath in your pocket, but not just in your
The
pocket.
sheath got unbuttoned. DM rolled a luck check. Oh man. All right. So, all right. So now, well, I suppose we should divide these objects up. I do think that even having two of them is a risk for anyone involved.
Well, I just want to find my daughter.
In due time, I'm sure she will be all right.
We know that she's safe, at least, even if she's not in the most comfortable of positions. We know that those who are left are safe.
Humi looks uncomfortable, but is staying.
I'm gonna walk up and holy shit.
Oh my
put a
god.
hand on
Sorry, I wanted to roll.
Ruby and say, look, I know how you feel in a way. It's not my child, but it's my family too that I have down there, and as much as I want to get them out right now, we gotta make sure everything's safe and okay.
Thank you for the 100 bits, Max.
Thank you. It's what's best for them.
Don't want to risk bringing them back into potential danger. Who knows what's still around?
Actually, Aurora, do me a favor.
No.
Roll me a history check.
History check? Okay.
Let's see if you remember the tunnels.
Say she's been here a long time, maybe.
Did I get advantage on it?
Yeah, why not?
You haven't been here that long.
You guys also have a bunch of viewer inspirations left, so...
We do have some viewers.
17 good enough?
A 17? That's not bad. I would say
I'll keep the 17.
you don't know exactly where or how to access them, but given your time here in Balradin, and also given your time in some more underground, sometimes unsavory locations within the city, through your various time here, you would have heard you know what the menagerie is. You know it's an underground society that exists here within Balradin, and you know that they tend to operate in unseen passageways down below.
The menagerie. We've come full fucking circle.
We have.
I'm gonna say, look, I'm racking my brain to remember, and I don't think I know any entrances, but I know that the menagerie has a lot of secret tunnels down here under the city, and I know that there's some entrances. I can't think of where.
So I'll message Galloway. Well, first I'll give the book to Humi, and I'll reiterate the spiel about really, for real, don't use it. And really, for real, like, keep it secret, keep it safe, don't tell anyone about it. And then I'm gonna message Galloway. Cliff here, comma, double downs. City safe. Tunnels, entrance where? Humi daughter where?
Keep going.
Buddy.
There's so many buddies. You had like a decent amount of words left.
After about a minute, you hear back. It's safe? What happened to Arania? What's it look like up there?
He's gonna make you use another spell slot, this little bastard. Just kidding, I love him.
I'll use another spell slot to say Arania dead, city safe, trust us, we're the double downs. It's time to celebrate. Where's the tunnel entrance?
You have some more if you want to use them, but that's
Buddy, 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 buddy,
buddy.
Another moment passes when you hear, with a bit of hesitation. Right, well, that's great news. I'll come take a look, and maybe we can meet up. Figure out what to do.
Oh god. Galloway was double agent, wasn't he?
No, but literally the city's been under siege for quite some time. A lot of people are dead. And you out of nowhere, you're just like, oh yeah, it's safe, come on out.
You know
Yeah,
what's
he's gonna
funny?
be a little hesitant.
Imagine if Galloway was a double agent and he's just like, you ruined everything.
Galloway does not tell you anything about the entrances of these tunnels. However, after some time, let's just like expedite a little bit. I'll say after some time, Galloway can find his way to you, and he can assess for himself the situation, the city, and determine that, okay, you're not actually, like, this isn't some kind of ruse or like danger or threat. Perhaps the city is safe. And after an amount of time, everyone that's been hiding in the tunnels, which it's a lot of people, though not nearly as many as you would hope to be safe, come filtering out slowly, one by one, back into the city to look at what's happened to their devastated homes. As this city has just been fucking ravaged by spiders and just covered in webs.
I'm
I did
looking
have a question
everywhere.
about that, DM.
Mhm.
The damage, like, was it a lot of actual physical damage, or is it more disruption of daily life that occurred?
It's a bit of both. It's mainly been the upheaval as this whole society has been attempted to be reformed into the shape of this cult. But with that, and with the various, I guess, entities summoned, you could say, as in like the big spiders, the transformation of the citizens into undead, there's been a lot of damage, a lot of wreckage.
So,
Makes sense.
As things have gone barreling and tearing through the city.
I'm looking everywhere for my aunt.
Eventually, you do find Adelaide. She comes meandering about as Galloway leads her.
Wondering. She's just vibing.
Galloway leads her. Galloway leads your allies that have remained, so basically that underground, there's Adelaide, there's Arya, and there is indeed one dog accompanying.
oh my gosh.
How
As
many
the-
citizens does it look to be?
The citizens that have emerged, whereas this city was like huge and sprawling and full of people. There's maybe a couple hundred that come out of the tunnels.
Oh, are you
God.
serious?
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure there are probably other people that like fled to the countryside, but even still, this is
That's
bad.
not a lot of people.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
even factoring in like people fleeing, this is abysmal.
It's like an
Yeah.
80% mortality rate.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Given the amount of whites that are just littering the streets, you can see where the rest of the citizenship has gone, and those
Yeah.
that did not escape the city in time.
Well, first things first, Audrey's gonna hug Galloway. And give him a big old pat on the back while he's doing it.
I'm gonna drop them down here in the
Yeah,
cathedral.
I'm gonna fucking like run to my
Here's this-
aunt and give her too strong of a hug by accident.
Oh, dear, you're going to break my bones.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She gives you a hug back that's almost equally as tight.
She's so strong.
So is
And then
Lady Thorne's body still there?
Yep.
Ah,
Shit. Someone make sure that your chat doesn't see that. Just
And Galloway gives you a hug as well, Derek. Good. I did not forget that. Yeah, he gives you a big embrace, and he looks to you all with a big warm smile. His little yellow glowing eyes looking to you all, because he was a little jack-o'-lantern boy.
Oh, cute.
I don't know if I ever said that or not. I did design him kind of after a jack-o'-lantern. That's why he's orange with like yellow eyes.
Oh,
Yep. He a little
Oh,
pumpkin
man.
man.
And he gives you all a warm smile and he looks to you all and he says, I don't know how you did it, but thank you. You saved our whole nation.
Not yet. We haven't, but we have a little bit of a plan. If you don't mind humoring us a little bit,
What would that be?
he's gonna just like, Alvar's the one with the wish scroll, right?
Yep.
He's gonna gesture his head over to Alvara and he's gonna say, "Came upon something pretty valuable. I don't want to speak up too quickly, but I feel there's a possibility here that we can maybe make a difference yet."
Oh, that's great news. What do you have in mind?
Well,
I don't have
I'll
a
have-
mini for shipped. Are you serious? I'm sorry.
I'll have to speak
You
to
did.
oh shoot!
my
Wait, no.
compatriot about it.
Oh wait, no. I have an idea.
I'm sorry, Derek. I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
He was just gonna say, I need to speak to my compatriot about it, but we have a scroll of some significant power here. It's a little beyond my skill grade, but for someone that's got a keen mind of the arcane, like yourself, or some of my lot, we might be able to bring some of those that were killed back.
You mean it?
Well, I don't know for sure. I don't mean to be getting your hopes up. It's well beyond my knowledge base as far as the arcane goes.
You see his eyes flicker for a moment over to the corpse of Lady Thorn amongst the altar. And while there is a glimmer of sadness within his eyes, he kind of looks to you, almost a little hopeful, and he gives you just a nod, says, okay, anything is worth a shot, right?
That's the way I feel. Speaking of which, do we want to get about using this particular scroll?
I think it. Well, let's have a little more discussion in character, and then Steve messaged me an interesting point too regarding it. Steve, if you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like well, our previous plan was to restore everyone's lives, but the whole fucking city seems to be destroyed too. I'm wondering if it's within the bounds of a wish spell to restore both people's lives and like the infrastructure of the city.
I just want to point out that if we ask for too much, there's a chance the wish will fail.
Yeah, that's why I was
They
nervous
can
too.
rebuild this city. Like, lives are priceless.
That's what I. Well, yeah,
It's
that's
good for the economy.
I didn't mind the 2-for-1, but I
Oh.
was also nervous because of the similar reason. But I know we should talk about it.
Would we know if that would be, asking too much of a wish spell?
Alvara, roll an Arcana check.
I'll give guidance.
With advantage, because we're all wondering this.
Alvara's the
you
one
might
that
not
would
know.
know the most. It's her scroll.
19.
Plus
A
guidance.
19?
Plus 1d4.
Well, am I being?
Well, you can't
does
guide
it make
someone for
sense?
thinking.
Yeah, it was like
Ah.
I didn't think it.
Well, it's spirits.
It's like you have to know that they're trying to accomplish something in order to guide them.
Yeah.
Um,
This is just me like reflecting on options.
a 19's not bad though. With a 19, you
Good.
would know that with spells like this, very powerful spells, especially one like this, can be very finicky. And if you're not careful enough, it can either extremely backfire or just outright fail. So your wording has to be chosen carefully, and it has to be specific, like very specific for the singular purpose it's for.
Yeah,
It's not
Alright.
it's not a take-all spell.
I'm gonna relay as much to the party and just say I wasn't really sure if I wanted to use this for that. I've had this spell in my possession for decades and not really knowing what it was. I guess in a way it was sort of destiny, if you believe in that it would be a group cast, and I guess in another way it was sort of destiny to use it to restore this city and the lives lost. So I do agree that that's the right course.
Yeah, let's just do the lives then, not the.
I'm willing to stay to help rebuild. There's a lot I have to sort through here. And I'm going to kneel down to Arya's height. How are you doing?
Wordlessly, she just wraps her arms around your neck and hugs you close. As the dog shift, he's barking a bit and he runs a bit around your feet, like in a circle, around both of you, as if he wants in on the hug as well.
To the others, I'm just gonna say, while Humi has that cute little moment, I'm just gonna say, I'm going to sort of work on the language. These spells can be very tricky, and it's important we get it right. And I'm just gonna turn and take out like a quill and parchment and kind of just start scribbling down stuff, over the course of a few moments until I'm satisfied with something, and I kind of nod, and we'll show it to the others to gain their approval.
No, this won't do. I'm just kidding.
Aurora
Alright.
pulls out a red pen and starts grading it.
I'm sorry,
I give this a C.
It's like a
person
C.
Minus.
You're the person who couldn't detect magic from any of those items earlier, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, that was mean. I'm sorry, Aurora.
You can't detect magic in Curse of Strahd, but I
We,
can.
we all have our strengths. Actually, no,
Wait,
Loburn's
Lober's
magic,
getting good
remember?
at magic.
Loburn's magic, dude.
Oh, right, yes. Yes.
He's very
Mhm.
magical.
I forgot. He knows druidic magic. He's
He's-
learned and
He's got animal abilities.
yep, and
And,
now he knows wizard magic as he
Oh yeah, he
said.
can prestidigitate or something.
can.
Yeah. And he
He
can
can.
speak with animals, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
he's
it
pretty
would be
much-
really funny if we gave Lobrin just the prestidigitate spell, nothing else.
I feel like
I just
Lobrin would
give
be
me magic
okay.
initiate. Like, just give me magic initiate, please. DM of that campaign? Did it?
What the
Okay.
fuck?
You're not getting magic initiate from me. You can take it when you reach the appropriate level to get it. So, and you
We
guys
just
are already,
missed that
I was
opportunity.
gonna
So,
why you
if you happen to get to level 12, you won't. You can take
Gosh.
magic initiate.
Damn.
Damn it.
Yeah, we're done.
Over.
Well, there's just too much shit in that campaign.
All right. So, eventually, I'm going to show the language down, everyone. I'm going to say, if everybody sort of agrees to this language to bring back those who have fallen here, she'll kind of scoff as she says this, but continue. Why don't we all just hold hands in a circle and
Say
work
good.
on casting this spell?
What is the language again?
I have it here. I wanted to just read it into the thing, or I can send it to you directly.
Why don't you read it for the audience? So they
Yeah,
know
for the
what-
audience.
Well, I was gonna read it in character,
Oh,
No.
yeah, okay.
but based on what we all discussed, unless you want me to read it out of character first to make sure it's good again.
No,
Did you
I
add
remember
the-
what you wrote.
Did you add the
I
part about?
did, yes, I did add
Okay.
the exclusion clause.
Did you
Oh.
add the part where everyone
No.
comes back made of candy?
See, I fucking knew it was gonna be something unrelated. No.
You know.
You know,
All right.
IRL, I like held out my hands once you said let's all hold hands.
Oh.
I was
Well,
like, okay.
that's some Decay Within the Ice shit right there.
What would you do if I just punched a hole in the fabric of reality?
Hmm.
I'd be impressed.
I wouldn't be
Um,
surprised, honestly.
I think that would be pretty cool.
All right, so we all
I'm
gonna hold
outside your house.
hands, and Humi sings a little song while we do. No, I'm kidding.
Fumi is like
Uh,
absolutely fucking bawling right now, but they do grab your hand.
Aw. All right. So as that happens, I'm gonna place this parchment down along with the wish scroll itself as I sort of hold the scroll.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say all right. Hope this works. We wish that the lives of those lost or injured in or around Bolredin within the past 30 days as casualties of the actions of those identified as Arania and Merkel and any others associated, excluding Arania and any servants of Merkel, were revived in their original bodies, if their souls are so willing, free from injury, illness, and any other fatal affliction. As she speaks, the magic she wishes to see manifest, holding hands with the rest of the Double Downs, like gazing upward upon finishing her statement.
Aurora doesn't have any magical abilities, but she's squeezed her eyes real hard and thinking this is gonna work with the power of us.
Do I notice anything like magical happening? Like, is this?
Oh yes, I'm gonna explain to you guys what happens.
Cool.
Uh-oh. Time for things to go horribly
One of
wrong.
DM's like, just give me a minute. I want to see how I can twist that further.
Hold on, let me just do one thing really quick. I think this music track is old.
Waiting for
Are you
Aztec
about to
Coast
Zach,
Camp.
you didn't
Battle music.
specify that not the servants of Merkel would
No,
be
I
there.
did. I said that. I said excluding Arania and any servants of Merkel. I said that.
I must have missed it.
And we're no longer
It's in here.
servants of Merkel.
I can DM you the language too, DM, if you want the final language. I'll DM it to you.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
Just so you have it.
Well,
There we go,
wasn't
that's
that the
something.
final language?
Well, we had to add the.
I don't know what
exclusion
song this
thing
is, but we're gonna
because-
try it.
Because that
does it
was
say?
when we first talked about it.
So, you all stand around the scroll in the additional language that Alvara has provided, and you hold hands tightly. Actually, I hate this song.
Oh, okay.
I kind of hate this.
If,
What
if
is
we were
this?
on a
couldn't
if we
even
were on a
hear it,
pirate
but-
ship, yes, this works. But
Yeah.
Or if it were like Halloween in Balverton.
but it's
Uh,
not. He's
I
not.
don't like this one either.
Fine.
You could just turn off the music and make it like a somber occasion.
We gotta have some kind of background, something. Give me
Totally.
just
Silence
one
the
second. I
city.
just don't want something that... It's gotta fit the mood. What the hell is this?
This is like a church. I don't know.
That's not correct. This is what you used in the fucking masquerade, Derek. I
No,
recognize it.
This was not the masquerade. This
No,
is
the one I have
chapel.
on. This is the one I have on my end. You can't hear it.
Oh.
It only
No,
have changes for you guys if I hit a button. We'll just do this for now. Fuck it. Now, as you all stand around,
Of the three.
damn you. As you all stand around and hold hands, I want you to go down the line and explain to me how your character is feeling and what they're thinking of in the moment. Starting with
damn.
Audrin.
All right. Audrin's got his hands linked. He's reaching down to link hands with Gobvar. He's reaching real far. He's kind of like leaning on one side just to clasp her hand. And the other side, he's holding hands with Humi, and he's thinking about his first time coming to Balredin and all the faces he was seeing as he was coming in, how alive the city felt, all the families, the brothers, sisters, mothers, and fathers, and all of the things that he's only now just appreciating after they've passed, and he's putting all of his energy into just like kind of manifesting those faces and what names that he can remember and his very brief memories from his initial time in Balredin.
Okay. Alvara.
I think Alvara would be contemplating the journey, transformation aspects, how they've all changed over the course of this, how she's radically changed over the course of this, along with some anxiety about her future. I do think she, is sincere in wanting this spell to work and to have these people restored to this community, for the sake of, good prevailing. And that would kind of be where her head is at.
All right. Aurora.
I think she's initially thinking of when she first came to the city and how at home she felt once she arrived and the people that she met. And the life and the home that she was able to build for herself here with the help of her aunt, who she loves so dearly. And she's also thinking about how fast life can change, you know, upon meeting this group of adventurers and setting off with them. And she's thinking of everything that they've done together and how drastically different her life became.
All right.
And
Oh.
I was just gonna say that I think she doesn't want to let anyone down. She wants it to work. She wants her home to be restored, and she doesn't want it to be for nothing, not just for her, but mainly for her friends who fought longer and harder than she had to.
All right. Umi.
With tears rolling down Humi's eyes, they think back to the times that this group has shared. Going to Chilled Seas. The trip getting over to Thorn Manor. The short time before all this craziness, when life just felt perfect for those few seconds that they were able to spend with their daughter. And just wanting to give them the best childhood that they can. They're believing with every bit of soul they have. They need this to work.
All right. Mina.
Mina is contemplating the fickle nature of fate and kind of, even though she can't see them now, contemplating how the stars tend to lead people in strange and mysterious ways. She's also praying that those same stars will guide the souls of those lost back to this mortal plane, and fervently wishing that this wish spell will take hold and that the wheel of fate will just continue to grind forward.
All right. And Cliff.
Cliff is contemplating his new purpose, which was born anew following the destruction of his old purpose, which was, to be evil and to serve the powers of evil and to kill and do bad stuff, and how he forsook that so that he may serve the power of good and the power of friendship, and he's thinking about how this is the ultimate act of serving the greater good, which is the greatest thing he could have asked for in a purpose for himself, and he's just overjoyed that he is doing it with his friends, and doing it for the right reasons, and for the power of the good of the people, and stuff like that. And he's willing with all his might for his divine power to be used for the powers of good, and the desires of his party, the Double Downs, which he believes in to the utmost extent, and believes serves the power of good in this world.
All right. So you all stand together, hands held tight, as Alvara reads aloud, and the scroll that lays before you slowly begins to burn away with each word Alvara speaks. And you stand there, hands held tight, your hearts united as one, as Alvara finishes the incantation, and the scroll dissipates into one singular golden ember that remains. And that ember eventually, after a few moments, you stare and you watch it as it sits. And you almost feel a warm pulse coming from it as it shoots up into the sky, far past the cathedral where you can see. But what happens in the sky above you all is that golden spark bursts within the air and creates almost this golden dome around the city as it pulses with healing magic. And all of the whites that you see filling the streets, eventually that glittering magic seeps down into them, and their skin restores, their forms change. And you can see people one by one slowly becoming themselves again and picking themselves up from where they had fallen before, twisted by Arania's dark magic. Eventually the city itself becomes full, with boundless waves of people again. Though, for one form, no magic finds this body, as Lady Thorn remains gone.
Feeling.
But eventually, the streets fill, you hear people reuniting with their families, people aghast at the surrounding just atmosphere of what's happened to them. But the people of the city do indeed restore.
Can I tell why Arania didn't?
Sure, roll. I'm trying to think. For this, I actually want you to roll a wisdom check.
Well, that's Lady Thorn. Arania.
Arania. I
is
mean, I meant
Arania-
Lady Thorn, I'm sorry.
But is Arania? Is her body still there?
Yeah, her body's still there.
Phew.
Was just a wisdom check?
Yeah, wisdom check on why Lady Thorn did not revive.
15.
A 15? It's kind of hard to say. You didn't know Lady Thorn very well. Unfortunately, you never got to grow very close to her. However, given the clause of your spell, provided that the souls are willing,
One could assume.
one could assume that perhaps this one did not want to.
Wow.
Very well. And Lady Thorn's journey is at an end.
Galloway looks a bit hurt by this, but with a few tears in his eyes, he tries to blink them away and he nods and he says, I wish she would, but I understand. I'll miss her.
She, I think she deserves to rest and finally be at peace.
Yeah, her work is done. She deserves to be at peace now. With the rest of her party, I suppose.
I was thinking that too. How basically this is like the end of their adventuring party, and also in a more symbolic way, the end of ours. I'm going to give Galloway a little pat on the rib cage
That you can reach.
because I'm small, and then just like is like a reassuring, comforting pat, and as I walk outside.
He looks to you with an odd look for a second, and he goes, Avara?
Unfortunately,
I might ask you later about that.
you're not going to get an answer.
Alright. Numbers?
Cliff now, but yeah, it's me, buddy.
It's good.
Wow, that's amazing. You look great. You all look great.
Feel great.
And I'm Valana. Just kidding.
No, Valana died.
Oh no!
He's dead! You
No,
told me
Valana's not dead.
See news from the front.
He did news from the front.
she's not dead. You said it.
Well, with the wish spell used, and the city on a long road to recovery, but a road to recovery nonetheless. There's a bit of closure here that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Should we I'm tempted to say, like, should we just, like, skip the 10-minute break and just get into the epilogues? Because I don't feel like that's gonna take all that long, right?
Probably not. Although, do we want to like just say farewell to each other while in the city real quick before making that pivot?
Of course. Any final goodbyes you want to say to each other? If there's anything else left unsaid to each other you want to say, go for
Also,
it.
I just want to, yeah, I do want to say something real quick. Let's split that 10K fucking gold up. Am I right?
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
Mina kind of needs that.
Wait, what is it? 10,000 divided by 6?
Yep.
Yeah, everybody gets
1,000.
1666, but a couple of you get 1667. It doesn't really matter.
Wow.
Wow.
And we also have a few like items that are worth money, like gems.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Can we liquidate our entire group loot, like as part of this town rebuilding DM?
Yeah, you know what? We'll work on that just at some point. I'll send you a gold
Afterward,
value
okay.
that you can all just distribute for what your
Lovely,
purpose is.
Lovely.
Cliff would say something. He would address the group and say, speak everyone's name aloud, and say it's been the honor of my very short lifetime to be in an adventuring group with you and to found the Double Downs. And I want you all to know that Double Downs are immortal. And we'll always hold places for each other in our hearts. And I will be holding space for everyone over at Cliff Harbor Abbey. So meet me there sometime, and I'll follow up with you all on the what we had mentioned about those items.
Yeah, did we out of character, do we just want to hold on to like each of the ones we have, and did you give the book to me?
Yeah, he gave the book to me.
Okay,
yeah.
so the rest of us, okay, cool. Alright, just want to
Can
make sure.
someone send me the or DM, can you send me the thing, the text?
For the book?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Should we? So what does everyone have? I know Mina has the circlet.
I have the amulet.
I didn't have anything.
I'll write that down.
Aurora's hands are clean.
Or it's like,
Aurora's hands
I'm good on this. I'm just gonna go back and hang out with Aunt.
DM said I wouldn't be able to, so why hold on to anything?
Well, I just meant for the book. Like, it made sense. I think it just made more sense for someone to decipher the book that actually has a background proficiency in, like, magic.
Oh, so should I keep something?
Well, the only issue is there's only 5 items.
Oh.
Sorry, Aurora, you're the
Whoa! I'm in the clear!
Yeah, I don't have to worry about being corrupted.
You don't have to worry about holding a cursed object.
Around your aunt that sells magic items and they accidentally sell it to a
Yeah.
random
Oh,
stranger.
I sold that to a nice gentleman with a black
Not
cloak
that
on.
stupid. If I was given an item, I wouldn't sell it.
I'm gonna whisper to Aurora that if any of us go insane with the power of these items, you are charged with killing us.
Oh,
Gosh.
God.
Okay.
Copy that.
Gonna be hanging out in town for a little bit. I'm gonna try to see what I can do to help people rebuild and reestablish the city. It's gonna take some time to get things back in order.
Me too, Mina.
After
Gotta
that, I
get-
was thinking about heading for the grasp again.
The grasp?
The what now?
What,
Why go there?
Feels like the right place to go. My star map has always been leading me there. Maybe that's where I was meant to be. I'm hoping to start a druid grove there, at least for now. Use that to protect the circlet, at least until we're able to destroy it.
That's very noble of you. And hey, you wouldn't be too far from Alvara. You can go visit her and her new husband.
You don't know about that?
Damn it, that's right.
What?
Oh, you never told any of us about that.
Not yet. I was just
did.
about to.
What
No,
are
that was not divulged.
What are the rest of you doing? I'm hoping we can keep in touch, and if any of you need a hand getting through the grasp, I'll be right there.
Oh,
Oh, it sounds like you've already made some friends in that neck of the woods. I'll be just around the corner for my part. I'll stay for a bit, help the people recover what they can. I feel like I owe it to them. After that, ways I see it is, I heard there's a position that opened in Port Ballister. Might be able to do some good with it.
Oh,
So you are not giving up the pirate life, are you?
I wouldn't call it the pirate life. I'm gonna find something else to do with that position of power. Maybe I can offer a way out to people who didn't have one before. Someone like a younger me could have used.
I like that. I think. Well, I'll be here. This is my home. Help doing all I can to help rebuild, so. I guess I'll see a little more of you and Mina and whoever else wants to stay for a short time, but.
I think
My
someone
name's-
needs to. Oh, go.
Oh, I was just gonna say. After the matter, the Veiled Gauntlet has just been calling my name in the back of my mind, and I'd like to try out my new skills there, I think. See if I can still, remain the reigning champion.
I don't think that will be a problem. I think you've gotten a lot stronger than you realize while we've been on our adventures. I don't think anyone here will be able to even come close, being honest.
Initially, I thought you were gonna say because like everyone's dead,
No.
but I know we brought it back. I know we brought it back.
No.
Yeah, probably given that there's not much competition.
Well,
Maybe
if
I'll
you
just
ever
have to
need.
find
Oh,
a city or a place that does have good competition.
well, if you stay here, you'll always have well, introduction. I'm going to stay here and get things as close to back to normal as I can. I think there's a bit of a. There's a lot of fixing to be done, and Humi's going to turn to Galloway. If it's at all possible, I would like to do what I can to maybe work with the menagerie to get Bulgerton back on its feet.
Oh, well, I wouldn't work with the menagerie for that if I were you, but the First Light Observers always have a seat open for you, Humi.
Okay, that works. I'll start there.
Vara's gonna put her hands on her hips and kind of stare back at the party. She already started leaving, as I mentioned when she walked past Galloway. She just turns around, and just goes, "Well, I don't want to say it's been a pleasure, but it has certainly been a journey. I unfortunately won't be spending much time around town helping rebuild. I have vows to exchange with an archfey." And she'll hold up the ring on her hand, or hold up her hand with the ring.
You
So-
did not.
It's purely a political marriage, I assure you. I had to put myself in the best position I could with the circumstances I was dealt. I will be parlaying with that court for a while, and perhaps next time you hear from me, it'll be from a position of much greater power and prestige that I occupy.
Well, I'd hope so. You're far too smart to not be at queen level by the next time I see you.
She just nods.
Get
Brief
back in
smile
touch with each other.
covers her lips, but
Did you say tickle each other, Humi?
Get back in touch with each other.
Ah, it's
Well,
like, wait, what?
if only somebody had a magical item that could communicate with everybody in the party.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'll get us
He
all
does,
on
he's
on
got us,
conference
yeah.
calls. I'll keep us on conference calls.
Oh, I
We'll,
might
we'll
be
keep in
busy
touch.
that night, I think. I
What?
might be busy that night.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Cliff, just
you don't have a
make sure,
choice.
make sure you contact us like maybe 2 to 3 times a day.
I think
God,
that's about right.
that is not what I was hoping for. Anyway, I'm gonna mount my broomstick.
Middle of the night, Alvaro is going to be awoken by buddy.
Goody, goody, goody.
Oh,
Alvara,
He
before
looks
you
over her shoulder.
fly off, I'm sorry again. I'm sorry that you were failed. I know it
Doesn't-
don't mean nothing hearing it, but I'll carry that guilt forever.
She doesn't say anything. You just hear her turn her head again, away from you all. She gives a brief wave with her right hand, and then shoots out the doors of the cathedral and out into the sky. Oh, you hear the broom fly back around suddenly, to your surprise. There was something I almost forgot. And I'm gonna cast Find Familiar and bring Servoy here.
Servoy appears and he lands on your shoulders.
How are you? I'm gonna pet him a little and see how he's doing.
He kind of leans his head a little bit into the pet. He closes his eyes before he looks back to you with a blink, and you hear within your head, a bit lonely.
I know. I haven't been good to you lately. I've had a lot going on, as you can obviously recall. I'm gonna communicate that mentally, but then I'm gonna turn to the party and go, I don't think I'm the best one to look after Savoy anymore, and I can think of no one better than a budding adventurer filled with ambition. And I'm gonna throw my arm out toward Mina if Savoy will go and if Mina will accept.
If Servoy's willing to, how do you feel about coming to the grass with me?
You hear him
Sharing
kind
some
of perk
adventures.
up a little bit at the mention of the grass, but he looks back to you in a moment of hesitation, Alvara.
I'm gonna
Almost-
nod and mentally go.
I was just gonna say almost as if asking permission.
Yeah, I'm gonna nod and mentally just say, where I'm going is no place for you. I do think you'll be much better in Mina's company.
You sense a pang of sadness momentarily from him, but he gives you a knowing nod before bounding his way over to you, Mina. And the pseudo-dragon tries to mount your shoulder, but he's...
How big is Servoy?
Servoy's
exactly?
like this. If I had to compare him, he's like the size of a house cat. So like,
Okay, so like still possible, but
like for you, he still could. He's just like a scarf on you. He's like huge.
It's like it's
He's
like
a
a cat. It's like a toddler picking up a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, me and Elvira are about the same size.
Just about. So I mean, it's not like too terrible.
Don't even.
And Elvira, it sounds like you're not gonna be too far away from where I plan to set up shop. If you ever need to escape for a little bit, you're always welcome to come find me.
I'll let you know. She'll give us a little bit of a smile, a salute, and now she's gone.
Aurora's gonna watch after her. And she's got a feeling in the pit of her stomach like maybe it won't be the last time she hears from her, but she thinks it might be the last time she sees her, depending on if she can forgive us. Oh, that reminds me. Audrin, I got something for you.
Oi.
So out of my ass, I pull 6 scimitars. I was holding on to all of these for you. They're yours now. Take them. And she drops them into your arms.
I don't want them, but I appreciate it.
Well, they're yours now. We killed something really big when you weren't there, and I knew that you used this type of shit, and I've been carrying it around forever. And you got it, and I'm tired of it. Here, these are for you.
All right then. He's just gonna kind of like look at him on the ground, but not pick him up.
No, I put them in your arms.
You just put a handful of swords in his arms.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone's trying to get him like sliced up to death.
knock into the dagger, and he's like,
He's gonna
Oh, gosh.
gently place him on a pew, and he's gonna say, I'll give him to the local guard or something. I don't know.
Well, you got to keep one of them.
Do I?
Well, yeah.
I mean, by your own admission, I wasn't there. I mean, it's not really.
stole them
"I'll
for
give them
you.
to the local guards."
I stole them just for you.
Yeah, kids,
Yeah,
go play
okay.
with these swords.
For one thing, you didn't steal them. You defeated the enemy in combat and earned them. For another thing, I've got the perfectly good blade at my hip. It's the same one you've seen me with for as long as you've known me.
Yeah, I know, but I've been holding on to these, and
Well, that's another
if
thing.
you don't care about me, just say that.
Well, I'll keep one. All right? Does that please you?
Yes.
All right.
He did not, in fact, keep one.
He takes a scimitar and he puts it on his the other side of his belt.
I just
One
wanted to
that
throw it.
will never. You don't know. What if you lose those two weapons? You'll at least have another one. You never know.
Fair enough.
Who, me?
Alvara, as you are leaving, you get one last message from Humi, and it's just a simple thank you. That's it.
You won't see it because she's way too far, but a smile creeps across her lips.
Is there anything
So-
else you guys want to say to each other before we continue with the epilogue?
Yeah.
Oh.
Audrey's gonna go up to Cliff.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
maybe Scimitar's Cliff.
Audrey's gonna go up to Cliff.
Big juicy kiss.
He's,
and then.
he's gonna put both of his hands on his shoulders, and he's gonna say, "For all my life, I couldn't have imagined having a better first mate than you. And if you ever need work, ship to sail, adventure to find, well, you know where to go looking. I'll be only a stone's throw away."
Audrin, you'll always be my brother. I couldn't have asked for a better adventuring partner.
He's gonna ruffle his hair.
Bring it in.
Yeah. Big
Great
ol'
man
big ol'.
fan fiction.
We gotta leave it open ended.
Fan cannon.
And
We all know what it is.
Real quick, he's gonna just give a. He's gonna get on one knee for Mina. He's gonna say, "I hope you remember what we talked about once upon a time. If ever you need a place to go or advice from a big brother or anything like that, you know where to find me. Won't be far from you, as a matter of fact."
Keep that in mind. I did enjoy the seas while we were there. Maybe we can meet up from time to time.
Maybe we can indeed. Life atop the seas is not an easy thing, not for the faint of heart. But you're not faint of heart, are ya? And he's just gonna kind of ruffle her hair too.
Speaking of seas, y'all want to catch dinner before we head out?
Are they even going to be open?
Chilled seas, anyone?
Well, I think
Yeah, it's
there
true.
is something we can do. If I'm not mistaken, don't we have a Hero's Feast?
Didn't we use that?
We used that already. That was
Use
a...
that. Also,
And
That's
it does consume the bowl.
We all
Give me.
thought
I
It
can
consumes
say.
are
the
they
materials.
gonna be open? It's like half the
I
staff
ate
just
Hero's
got brought back to
Feast
life.
on my hero's piece.
That is, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh.
That is
taking
the
the day off.
biggest boomer mentality I've ever heard of. It's like a catastrophic world-ending event. Hey, do you guys think the serving staff is still active? You think they'll work for a few tips?
Hey, Cliff
Oh,
was
yeah.
born yesterday. Give him a break.
He didn't know.
I just really like chilled seas, guys.
I want the triple dipper.
the first thing in this town that gets rebuilt is the local pub.
Oh, I can guarantee you, someone has
Life is
already cracked
cool.
open a cask of wine.
Citizens get brought back to life, and they're like, "Oh my god, I need to get back to being waitstaff."
Forget the school, forget the church, forget like the market. We're rebuilding the chilled seas first.
I feel God in this chilled seas tonight.
Hey, it is a family restaurant, all right? I'll have you know.
Actually, Arania left it alone because she respected it too much.
The chilled
I
seas
just
actually
really like-
intimidated her.
Fine.
Ronnie was like,
I
I can't destroy it for the sake of the big mouth bites.
But there is one she fears.
The chicken crispers, anyone?
Big mouth bites and chicken crispers. And
Plus,
God,
I
her
mean,
chips and salsa are so good.
This stream brought to you by.
there was also just like an invisible copper dragon protecting the chilled seas, so like,
Oh,
That's true.
fuck yeah! So it was never touched.
the chilled seas is actually in pristine condition.
Yeah,
The chilled seas actually
Nice.
the chilled seas is like Waffle House. It actually remained open the entire time.
It remained open. It was
Oh
a
my
bunch of
God.
white staff, like behind the counter.
White instead of wait staff, it's white staff.
It never actually got bad enough for them to close.
They're like, man, do
Yeah,
we
'cause
really
there
have to
was
go
a
in
copper
today?
dragon there. Nobody touches the bar I like.
Boss, my horse is covered in a spider web. I don't care. You get your ass to the chilled
Also,
seas.
I do want to say, I really feel like Alvara was the perfect person to come up with the wording for that wish spell, because they're used to magical contracts. They understand that there's a lot that can go wrong with magic, and how everything needs to be very, very carefully worded.
There is. That was a century of Avara's life, is entering into a contract that wasn't great. So hopefully this one's better.
At least she's out of
Well.
that one.
Well, at least it won't be another century.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So do we want to do epilogue?
Yeah,
Time?
how about we move on until everyone's epilogue.
Okay.
A 2-year span, just so the audience is aware, kind of into the future. Is that correct?
Yeah, so lovelies out there, the epilogues will span between a year or two, up to the discretion of those writing for what you want to do. There's a lot I want to say in terms of the city and like the state of everything in general, but hold on, I'm like making it normal now.
Are we starting with that?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff I
happens to the
can say,
city?
but here's what's gonna happen is I've read all of your epilogues, and I think there's an order of operations here for how they get presented, because some of them may or may not have something to do with each other, or like be like tangent. So I think the best place to start would be Cliff.
Okay. Well, okay, so I have a couple of bullets here. I mentioned I would be at Cliff Harbor Abbey, where our adventure all began. For the discerning viewer, you may recall I now own the deed to Cliff Harbor Abbey. We got it from the collector in the grasp. So another thing to note is I never spent any gold this entire campaign, basically. So I have 6,000 gold or so at this point. So what I would do is I would build up over the course of the next couple of years. I would build up Cliff Harbor Abbey, spending the gold to turn it into a stronghold, casting magic spells and turning it into a fortress, and a meditative studio, in which to destroy the staff of Moreno and the other cursed items of Merkel. That's one aspect of it. A couple other things I would do there is I would meditate on my new divine origin and powers, and basically go on a journey of self-discovery, because I I gave up my connection with Umberly and essentially became a cleric of the Double Downs, and gained some kind of divine power in doing so that I don't fully understand just yet. So I would go on that spiritual journey of discovery of my patronage, of being the patron of essentially adventuring parties, is what I would come to discover. And in doing so, I would expand the Double Downs. I would turn Cliff Harbor Abbey and the Double Downs into an adventuring guild. Obviously, the original Double Downs are generals in the guild, so to speak, and Cliff Harbor Abbey would just become like a way station for the purposeless, just like Cliff was, or like Numbers was before he discovered his new purpose. And he wants to give that to other people, so he would use Cliff Harbor Abbey and the network he established throughout this campaign to start that adventuring guild and have others come to the Abbey with their problems and their quests, and have it become a center of adventuring and stuff like that, adventure parties. I said I would destroy the magic items, and maybe I would give a phone call to Adeline too, invite her over to the Abbey and explore that side of my humanity as well.
Ooh, okay.
Won't they hit the campaign?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I would set up conference calls with the Double Downs and just chat and lay on the bed and kick my feet in the air as I
So what did you guys
talk to
do
my
today?
friends. Yeah.
Very well. Cliff Harbor Abbey itself does become quite a built-up place to be seen, and when you first get there, Cliff, after this long journey, you do find a couple of the residents that had previously been there under the protection of Arania when you had first met, but now seemingly abandoned and again in their own way. There is indeed Solda Hinturo, her younger sister. There's no,
Malra.
Sayra's dead.
Skull.
He's like, oh, ooh.
That dwarf that we liked who insulted the potatoes.
Oof.
Yeah, Malrim.
Malrim.
Malrim is indeed there.
Malrim.
Malrim's there, as well as Robin Albie and his wife.
Nice.
Oh yes, yeah, they were.
Oh yeah, I
people
remember
too.
them.
Yeah.
Can I ask, would I ever be successful in using my divine intervention to destroy the staff?
Perhaps that's something we can explore later on.
Ooh.
But indeed, Cliff Harbor Abbey becomes a safe haven for those looking to become adventurers, and those actually that just admire the Double Downs and want a glimpse into their history. For the Double Downs themselves have become quite a piece of history within this land of Ashana.
There's like a museum there and shit.
Museum.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Cliff would give great speeches.
Archer threw a dagger that killed. This dagger killed a Kuatoa in the cavern. Not far.
Oh my god.
Wait, no, that's where the museum should be, is in the cavern.
Actually?
Shit.
Adeline, I need you to come to Cliff Harbor Abbey and help me destroy the staff.
Hey, yo.
Yo!
Guy.
Hold on a minute.
And you are indeed accompanied by one
And also,
Triton.
there's a cursed magic item I need to get rid of.
Speaking of a member of Audrin's crew, let's pan on over to Audrin.
Aldrin.
All right. With that said, Audrin's going to spend the first portion of his time reamassing what remains of his crew, reuniting with Captain Bailey Moran after a long-awaited time period, and gathering Yetta and all of the other members of his crew that he can, and takes what was once the Marrow's Call and renames it to the Sixfold Compact, and takes up the mantle as the 8th High Reaver of Port Ballister. But instead of returning to a life he was previously very familiar to, piracy, brigand's life, he's going to act as an envoy of the Double Downs and kind of be like an outreach from Cliff Harbor Abbey to those people around the coast of Port Ballister that want a way out of the easiest life there is to get there, and which is the criminal life. He's going to accept onto his crew anyone that's looking for adventure or mercenary work, defense work. Generally, just trying his best to do better for himself and for others in his second chance at life. And largely he presides atop the sea, but he will make frequent stops at the telephone at Cliff Harbor and even to Barradin in the Grasp. Maybe even having at one point or another getting formal introductions to the person in the Grasp that had helped his friend group when he was not there to help him himself.
Oh my.
Audrey, if you're making frequent trips to the Grasp, maybe you can supply Mina with coffee. At least until
This is a great idea, but here you go. We got you a crateful.
Yay.
Oh my god, a crateful would last her so long. I would hope.
About 4 days.
Oh my god.
She's getting so much done, though.
Oh my god. So, High Reaver it is for Audrin. Though, now living the life the best he can of an honest man. It's hard work. But you have the strength of your friends around you, and the strength of your crew, minus one Triton, who chose to stay at the Abbey.
So be it.
She enjoyed it that much.
No, you can't.
And from there, we pan over to Mina.
Well, I did go over some of it, but Mina is planning on staying in Barradin at least for a short period of time, trying to help people rebuild and get on with their lives. Afterwards, she and Servoy would head to the Grasp and meet up with Winnie and Phlox and help guide people through the Grasp as the incursion of the Feywild slowly weakens. While there, she would attempt to set up a Druid Grove using the Druid Grove spell and start her own Druid Circle. Hopefully, gathering some other followers that seek to learn the way of the stars, and she would use that to help defend the circlet buried deep in the center of the Druid Grove. Meeting up with Audrin and the others occasionally, depending on how their lives go. Maybe even seeing Elvira once.
Yeah, no, hold your breath. Maybe.
And set up a druid. Set up a druid grove you shall.
I don't know. I kind of want to set up a Druid Grove.
You could set up a druid drove.
Dude, Druids shouldn't be driving, man.
Is that just a hippie van?
But set up a druid grove you shall, deep within the Grasp as you, and with the help of the Emerald Enclave, attempt to quell the last remaining bits of the Feywild that are seeping into the Grasp, and slowly over time lessen its impact as you aid those, now actually making it really not so much of a dangerous place to exist anymore. And with the help of Phlox, perhaps even some members of Meadowlight as well, could actually become a little more incorporated and a little more open. And if Audrin visits you and deposits all your coffee, perhaps he could even meet Phlox.
Yay!
In fact, what would they say to each other?
Okay, I was hoping that you would make me RP these two separate characters at
It's
the
all
same
you.
time. Okay, here
Just
we
a
go.
quick
Here we go.
just an introduction to each other.
Oi there, pleasure to meet you, little guy. Thank you for helping out my friends. I'm sorry, who are you? There you go.
Okay.
Put him. Sorry, wait. I'm not gonna lie, I blacked out that entire week.
I'm still in therapy for that, to be honest with you. I've been trying to figure.
Very good. And from there, we pan over to Alvara.
Oh man, not every adventure has a happy ending. I think a lot of people. I think a lot of the time there is sort of this narrative of adventurers, getting this great, good ending. But I think Alvara is the sort of character who, despite finally maybe starting to find a group that she could trust and rely on, had that effort pulled out from under her, with her pact, being ripped from her, having to be reincarnated as something new that she really wasn't a huge fan of being. She made this sort of initial pact to preserve something greater than herself, betrayed her patron when given that second chance at life. And then, the people she betrayed it for, ultimately, it was a situation where, they just all, I guess, collectively weren't strong enough. Herself included. So I think she looks at herself like that, continuing to suffer consequences, trying to do the right thing, and just always being sort of spurned in some form or another, or ending up in like a bad situation. I do think that she is doing the best she can with her circumstances as well. The marrying into Gark is sort of, I guess, where her epilogue really begins. But I wanted to just paint that little context. I do view Gark as having this sort of like over the top, garish kind of wedding, where Alvara's just sort of eye rolling the entire time. He's kind of dressed up in this little military attire and views himself as like this great goblin leader. And I think Alvara does come to see that side of him, which I don't think we saw too much of in the campaign. Like, we're talking about a military leader here who's pretty effective at what he's doing. I don't think Alvara, at least within these next few years, develops really significant feelings for him, but I do think she comes to at least respect his capability as a commander of this, Fey Goblinoid army in the Kingdom of Nactor that he resides over. I also, view her, in terms of the double downs, I don't really think, like many others, she's going to be as in touch. Nactor's probably, it's part of the grasp, but like a lot of that kingdom too really resides within the Feywild, so I think she's going to be quite the distance away from the rest of the party. Occasionally she'll probably be on the surface world. Maybe she'll join in the occasional conference call. But I do think, just with the things she's kind of endured with this party and the life she's now living, that she would be a little bit removed and maybe, a little bit less tied to it as some of the others were. Although, I do think she uses these stories to sort of, win favor with both Gark and sort of her new subjects as this queen consort that she's role that she's sort of stepped into. And I do think, there is still a positive insofar as, like, for the first time in her life, well, maybe not her life, but for the first time since she made her pact with Baba Yaga, there is a degree of independence. Like, yes, she has this pact with Gark. She's married to the guy, but I think at the same time, like, she kind of has stepped into a role that she's more comfortable with. She has this sort of power as this queen consort. I have her in this nickname as the Red Witch because of the attire that she wears, and kind of has the ability to shape the world and her legacy in a way that she really hasn't been able to in a long, long time. So I think Alvara is making the best of the circumstances that she ended up within at this party. And I do think, she's looking now to consolidate and develop power and work on, using Gark, using the kingdom as not as leverage necessarily, because I think she is still helping them consolidate power, but almost to forward a private objective she's holding as well, which is to perhaps ascend to become an archfey at some point in time. So I think that's sort of the long goal that she's working toward, while also helping the Kingdom of Nactor develop, navigate this sort of interesting relationship, like kind of a political, medieval political marriage style situation with Gark, and also, staying a little bit in touch with the Double Downs, but also being a little bit wary of the past and how, maybe circumstances didn't end up the way she wanted to, but she's doing what she can. So that's Alvaro's story.
I do have a question for you about that. Would you
Sure.
invite us to the wedding?
No, she does not want anyone there for that. She does not want anyone there for that. I promise you. That is quick and dirty ceremony.
Quick and dirty. It's a Vegas wedding.
Shotgun wedding. He's dressed like actual Elvis. Like, no.
Gark is dressed like Elvis.
Garcube's trying to drag the
Garcubus.
ceremony on, but Alvara's like, can we
my
please hurry this up?
I do have things I need to this magical object. I think she would also try to safeguard that and keep it private from everyone in Nactor. I think that would just be something that would remain a secret too, if we're
Yeah, I
looking at
feel
the
like
amulet.
I would be
Yeah.
afraid Gark would want to try to use the amulet.
Oh no, yeah, that's why she's not even letting him know. Like this is something that she's just gonna try to just stash away.
Aztec got the wedding invite.
Yeah, he did actually, but that
Did
was
Gruta
it.
get the wedding invite too?
Yeah, Gruta was there.
200 kids on the team? Oh my
I
lord.
couldn't have
Oh.
it double down, sue me like that.
A wedding.
Falco was lost in the mail.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
A wedding? In a future ahead with Gark it is. The wedding is indeed extravagant, and he does, for the years ahead, attempt to fawn you with various pleasantries and gifts, and flaunt you amongst the kingdom of Noctor. However, as you stated, he is indeed, at the end of the day, a brilliant military leader, and that is a side of him that you didn't really get to explore much in the campaign. However, perhaps maybe one day, it'll even earn him a little bit of love from Alvara. We'll see.
Yeah,
But Alvara remains hidden away within the Feywild on her own journey of I would say betterment, but I don't know if that's what I would call this.
I do think it's sort of I don't want to say betterment either. I was going to say empowerment, but I don't. I mean, I guess it is empowering in a way.
I would call it
think
empowerment.
She's stepping into her own.
At
self.
the very least, you don't have like an evil, vindictive connection with your patron anymore.
Exactly, it's a better connection. This is the most power she's ever wielded, and she has a goal that I think she has ambitions that are finally her own for the first time in a very long time.
And your patron does indeed love you. So there you go.
All right, next.
Next, we pan over to Humi.
So, finally reunited with the child they thought they would never get to see again. They're going to try their best to help Baldredin rebuild and bolster its defenses, giving performances to help boost morale, and trying to become more of an official member of Guard of the flame. Rising flame? No. Rising
It's like
red flame.
Flame.
Nope.
No.
Flames on the side of my face.
wrong element.
The
Wrong
first light
element?
observers, right?
It's the
First
light
light
observers.
observers. Yes.
Yeah.
That one. Going try to become part of the official member of the First Light Observers to give Arya like a respectable childhood, and they're gonna teach her how to be a changeling, and they're gonna strive to be a better person than they were in their past life. They were given a second chance, and they want to make their mini me proud.
Okay. A member of the First Light Observers, indeed you can be, because as the city is in its process of rebuilding, there's a huge loss that's been taken with House Thorn, for Lady Thorn was the last surviving member of the house. However, in her remaining will that they were able to find, she left everything to Galloway, her star apprentice, as a final act of her care for him. And Galloway, well, he can take up the mantle, lead the House of Thorn of Balredin, which will then be renamed to House Grimm. However, he's very new to this type of scene, and he needs a second in command to help him along the way, to which he would offer to you, Humi, as he now leads the First Light Observers, which you could be second in command of.
Using all my tricks, all my cunning, all my shape-shifting and other things combined, including mind reading, persuasion, knowing how to talk to people, and being able to gauge their reactions, and if they're telling the truth, I'm gonna help them.
And help them, you shall. And also, a great parent you shall be.
Hell yeah.
You can spend the next couple years reconnecting with your family, establishing your own residence here within the city, as the city rebuilds. And becoming connected to the child that you thought you had long lost long ago. With Shift there as well, of course. Always by your side, the faithful companion. The government itself of Balverden is in a little bit of disarray. However, as you all remember when you first entered Balverden, there wasn't necessarily a lot of agreement amongst the 5 ruling houses. However, getting the latest tragedy of the city, they've all seemed to quiet up a bit. And are in a bit of a time of peace with each other, as the city takes on its new era. And then we switch over to Aurora.
That's me. So, I think Aurora will initially, after reuniting with her aunt, probably spend a lot of time with Humi in Balverden, dedicating herself to rebuilding the city. So I feel like they'd see a bit of each other for a while initially, and I hope that they would. Excuse me. I hope they would at least and stay close because she was one of the few people that Aurora opened up to during her journeys. So she has a fondness for Humi.
Aw.
Sadly, obviously parting with the Double Downs, I think that she's gonna remember them fondly and how she met them. And, how I think she's gonna think a lot back on how one single interaction with a group of people changed her life forever and for the better. And I think she will be there for all of Cliff's phone calls and group phone chats as he kicks his feet up and twirls them around in the bed while he stays at his at his new adventuring guild. And I think that she would like to continue to fight in the Veiled Gauntlet. Hopefully, probably continuing to be their reigning champion. Perhaps venturing a little bit outside of Balredin to neighboring towns and cities just to see if there's someone else that is potentially stronger that she could take on to, give her a run for her money. But overall, I think she's mostly going to be settled in Balredin, with her aunt, with her family that's most important to her, and just doing her best to make sure that the city that she grew to love, that is her home, is safe and protected. But I still think she'd be ready for any adventure that may get thrown at her, especially if it involves one of the Double Downs. She would most definitely take that opportunity in a heartbeat if they needed anything at all. I think she'd probably try and visit all of them as often as she could. Maybe it would be a little harder to visit Mina. I think Aurora would get very lost in the grass because of her wisdom score. But I think that she would definitely love to visit Cliff and the Adventurers Guild and also try and help these new adventurers hone in on their skills. And although she didn't share the big part of what brought this group together, she's forever grateful for their friendship and their acceptance and the love that they showed for her. And I think she'll just be content for now with the life that she has, being able to essentially retire for the time being. What did I put at the very end? Let me look over to my Google Doc. Oh yeah, and I said also she maybe eventually gets a date with Yetta. You never know. Maybe she's visiting Audryn one day and finally makes a passable charisma check.
Nah, you fumbled that.
Yeah, we know.
Wouldn't that be the day?
We know that ain't happening though.
You guys are so mean.
I heard a rumor that Aurora discovered Valana's corpse. Aurora was the one to do it.
Aurora's like, I don't know who that is.
Here's the thing, you
Oh
can say
my
it all you
God.
want as the player, but the DM rules, her word rules, and she said she's alive, and I will keep that forever.
But it's been 2 years, DM. Is she still alive?
She's alive, but she did have tuberculosis, so it's
Oh my
like,
Did
god.
lose 2 of her 4
question
limbs.
is, would Cliff consider her
choose which.
still a member of the Double Downs?
Yeah, she's
Would she be welcome at the guild?
Valana is always welcome at the guild. She is an original founding member of Double Downs, and therefore is within the reach of my phone calls.
Yeah.
So
She's
Yeah.
also a very popular question at pub trivia. Who was the founding member of the Double Downs that was not present at the final fight with Arania?
It's me. It's Valana.
Valana! Who is Valana?
She is not
Jeopardy.
married to Yukon Cornelius, but may love find her one day, we hope.
I know Valana and Aurora are just, tie it
Well,
up.
who knows? I mean,
You do, they're your characters.
I think if Valana would be taken by Aurora upon first meeting her.
my 2 characters met and they fell in love.
It's like we're taking
Yeah.
the Barbie dolls and
Aurora
making them
truly
kiss.
wants that chance with Yetta. Why not? Why not?
here
Why
for
not make
it.
it fun? Why not make my 2
We're here
characters
for it.
fall in love upon first sight?
Well, a good life here in Balradin, Aurora will indeed have. The Veiled Gauntlet does indeed still exist, and is drawing in even more and more crowds. It's not quite so underground anymore, because the rumor has it that the reigning champion of the Veiled Gauntlet is one of the renowned Double Downs, and everyone wants to get either a glimpse of that fight or a chance themselves against it.
I don't know anything about that. That's crazy. That's not true.
And, though you don't have the greatest relationship with House Cromwell, they do, as the law and jurisdiction and army of this city, offer you, I want to say, I don't know, I'm losing the words for what to call it, because it's almost like a pendant. It's like a badge of sorts.
Like a medal?
It's like a medal. Yeah, a medal. Thank you.
Yep.
They do offer you a medal. An honorary member of the Last Light Vanguard, should you accept it, and give you a little bit of a pass through the city.
Wow.
As a champion. Of
that's
not
so
just the Veiled
special.
Gauntlet, but of Balradin in general.
I'll take the medal. I will wear it or keep it in my pocket.
can we all get medals like at the end of Star Wars?
At the end of
I was like,
Star
wait a minute, where the
Wars.
fuck is my medal?
Chewie should have got a medal! Cliff should have got a medal!
Well,
Do my characters fall in love?
if you want them to, they absolutely can. Does Valana stay? She's not
Well,
from
she
here. Would she want to go home?
She would have to go back to Balradin somehow and meet this. Yeah.
True.
It's a story
Well,
for
I
another
think
day.
they would meet most likely at like, if she would be visiting Cliff at his guild, at his adventurers guild.
Perhaps it's a fated meeting. One dark and lonely night. Their eyes fall upon each other across the table.
Heartbroken over
Why is everyone?
Aurora couldn't have Yetta,
Skip.
Valana couldn't have Yukon. And then they lock eyes and they realize those people
They can have
matter.
each other.
Why do I feel
Matters
such a
anymore.
kinship with you? It's like we came from the same place.
I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Yeah, and then they have lots of sex.
My 2 characters, Banks.
Yes, why not?
Jinx.
So, this brings us to the end of our story of the Double Downs. A great and noble adventuring party whose fame spreads across the entirety of Ashana, not just Decria. All the way to Cliff Harbor Abbey, where the guild itself still remains, being worked on by a member of the Double Downs, Cliff Harbor.
Is his last name Harbor?
I thought you
Yeah.
took the full title.
Your last name is Harbor?
Yeah, first name Cliff,
Yes,
last
he's
name
the-
Harbor.
Oh
like,
man, I didn't
And
know
when,
Every
that.
when people
That's so
ask,
funny.
we say that the abbey was named after him.
Cliff.
My
Cliff
Okay.
Harbor. Cliff Harbor.
Was
I
that
like it.
Maya?
Yeah.
It is
It
so
is
late.
9:30, Derek.
I
Oh my
I
gosh.
wanted to cuddle with the bird. I
Alright.
apologize.
Well, that
What?
aside, all the way to Cliff Harbor Abbey, where Cliff Harbor resides, creating the adventuring guild of the Double Downs for aspiring adventurers. All the way to Northolm, where the mayor still resides, missing his wife.
Oh.
But-
We should have wished her back.
And also Ms. Donnie and Maliminos, still keeping the town alive with their tavern, and the farmland that Mina helped grow exponentially with their crop yield. And eventually they do finish that ferry to Balradin.
Oh, nice.
I still keep thinking you're saying fairy and not fairy.
It's the same word, just spelled different.
It's not.
Pronounced differently.
That's how differently.
What's the difference
Fairy,
between fairy and fairy?
I mean, I guess you could say it like
It's fairly
fairy, like
obvious.
ferry,
Ugh.
but then that's like because it's an e, fairy.
Nary the
fairy.
fairy.
Then you're just putting so much like enunciation.
put
on it. I don't know,
emphasis.
It doesn't matter.
Good lord.
All right, how does this end? How does this end?
All the way to Balradin, where
The
they
dagger.
where they erect actually a monument to the Double Downs.
Thank you for the bits, Oni.
Thank you for the bits, Oni.
Aw, thank you.
Like, we're not saying thank you for the monument.
Thank you for the monument.
monument, villagers.
They erect a
Well,
monument to the Double Downs, the heroes that saved their city from the great evil that looms above.
It's like that. Sorry, can I just say it's like that, like medieval streamer guy. Thank you for the falcon. Big dono.
I'm now
The
already
monument.
imagining this monument to us is horribly confused at times, especially when it comes to like any depictions of Elvira, because they can't agree whether she's a goblin or not.
Also, I wonder if they depict Valana and not Aurora.
Well, you
It's
see,
just
the
like a
monument
vote.
itself is it's not like Mount Rushmore. There's not
Oh,
all of the
okay.
characters. It's the symbol of the Double Downs.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
I was gonna say.
I was
Oh.
They never met Aurora. They'd be like, "Who the fuck is this bitch?"
But they did make a statue of Audrey.
And
There is a
Aurora,
statue.
too.
No.
Real question.
No,
Did
but there
I
is a
see
body
that
pillow
too?
floating
Yeah.
around with
I'll get a
Audrey on it.
statue.
This
And
is
then-
the sacred double down body pillow passed on from generations.
Oh my god.
They still can't agree on Elvira, so she's just like a blue or orange goblin.
It's just like abstract art of like a green and orange, just like orb, like in like Elvira Sobe.
It's modern art.
It's not art.
All the way to Pasrial, where the Double Downs had once been known as boat thieves in the night.
They're both thieves and brigands.
They have indeed been pardoned, for one of them did keep the the pardon from the previous boatswain and
Yes.
the harbor master that presided over Pasrial. So, you know, past transgressions can be forgiven.
They're
I
like,
now
well, they had to
rule
save
over
the world.
Pastoral after that
Like, don't
parted.
forget we killed that dragon, bitch. It's like-
Actually, speaking of which,
We didn't
Fame's-
kill her. She chose to stay there.
no,
No, he
I'm
meant
saying the
Umbrier.
black dragon, Umbrier.
Oh.
speaking of which, all the way out to the Lost Grotto, the fame of the Double Downs spreads even further. For the Lost Grotto itself, now with Umbrier gone and the threat of the seas vanquished, a trading post opens within the Lost Grotto. Eventually. And there, for some time, remains an old gold dragonborn who spins some yarns and tells some tales of her times with the Double Downs and their great adventures they proceeded to have.
Alive?
We never. It was never.
Fucker faked us out.
All the way to the grasp.
I wept for her.
She lives a little while longer, but she lives her final days within the Lost Grotto.
By the end of that 2-year period, she ain't around anymore.
And the fame of the Double Downs still remains and exists all the way to the grasp, where a new druid grove has opened, accepting all travelers and aiding them through as they quell the last bit of Feywild through the grasp. Though on the edge of the ocean, there still remains one old crumbled tower. Some remnants remain, as there's one little mound that still sits at the front door.
126.
And who knows? If there's ever a greater threat that threatens the world of Ashana again, perhaps this land feels a little more safe knowing that there are strong heroes within reach that are able to reach their call.
Yeah, and we reach level 20.
Nope.
Oh.
And the staff?
Well, perhaps
The
you'll find
child.
out.
Mention to check.
Oh.
And that is where our story ends.
You mean Cliff can't roll 712 D20s right now?
No.
Or D100s?
No.
Every single
No.
day.
No. Instead,
Give us level 20! Poof.
Instead, we end our story with the heroes of Audred McHale, an honest man, and now High Reaver of Port Ballister. Don't you dare drop those dice.
It's too late.
Once again, Audred McHale,
Natural 20.
an honest man and High Reaver of Port Ballister. Alvara Silmir, the newly crowned Goblin Queen of Noctur. Aurora Mistralis, I remembered your last name.
Ooh,
Champion of the Veiled Gauntlet, and Defender of Decria.
that's honestly pub trivia. I would not have gotten that.
Umi, a renowned performer, a proud parent, an aiding leader of the First Light Observers. Tamina, a curious and shining star, and leader of the Circle of Stars Druid Grove. To Cliff Harbor, the beacon of the Double Downs, and aspiring divine of friendship. Thanks for playing, everyone.
Yeah, we did it, guys. We're all
I
alive.
see you. I've been
Don't
watching the
You
cover.
fucking do it.
And very, very much thank you for DMing
Yes,
this
Yes.
fantastic
Yeah.
event.
Big shout out
seriously,
to Winter. My gosh.
Which is one of a kind.
into it.
Everyone
Mhm.
to take a bow. Thank you for playing. You guys all did amazing, and I'm happy we all got to have fun together.
This was a little over a year and a half.
Gonna kill you, Andrew.
A year and a half in the
Confetti,
making.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like fireworks. It's like confetti.
It's the boom.
Just-
Me? I don't actually have a potion on hand. I promise I will, though.
Thank
you
you,
could
the
just pick
lovelies,
them
for
back up.
watching.
I didn't realize you
following
could just pick
along.
all of them back up.
And thank you, lovelies, for watching. All you out there. Thank you for being
oh
here.
my god, this is a nightmare. There's just dice everywhere.
Max, you're right. Every new beginning comes some other beginning's end. And speaking of which, before we end off Decay finally, I do have just a couple things to say. Let's do it again. Yeah, that's part of what I'm gonna say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Our Mondays will still be occupied for a little bit. We'll still be live, doing various games and whatnot. We're even gonna have a Q&A in terms of Decay. And we could maybe even throw Curse of Strahd Q&A in there if you wanted. I don't know. Just a Q&A in general that we're gonna host sometime in January. I'm gonna kill you guys rolling all these dice.
They're not popping up on your stream, just like the numbers rolled. But like
Yeah,
the
my-
dice.
This
Okay.
is a fucking huge
my-
file.
I think
like
you just
crashed
crashed my
Tailspire.
Tailspire. Yeah, Tailspire literally just fucking crashed, man.
You guys are fucking out of control.
Oh no.
Get him out of here now!
The
We will
perfect
still be
ending.
live on Mondays to keep our Monday slots, and if we're not live, that means we're gonna have some kind of YouTube production posted, because the in-person one-shot is getting ready for presenting. Thank you so much, Steve, for editing that and filming.
You got it. Hell yeah.
So keep updated in the Discord server. We will be live with non-D&D stuff. Well, like, you know, like non-campaign stuff, like playing a campaign on Mondays. for like a month or two, because starting in a month or two, we have... You want to say it, Gonzo?
We have Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Yes!
DM'd by
Coming
Gonzo
soon.
himself!
Yes!
Lovelies, we got the Wild Beyond the Witchlight coming soon. A lot of us already have our characters finished. We're just getting ready for some last minute stuff. We got a lot of prep to do for it.
I am so excited. Like,
I'm
I'm
so
genuinely
excited.
Yeah, dude, I cannot wait. This is gonna be great.
I'm
Very
I'm
nice.
still like concerned about how I'm going to roleplay my character, but we'll figure that out when we get there.
Oh, I know
I'm
exactly
That's
so
part of the
how
excited.
journey.
to play my
We'll
character.
burn that
It'll be
bridge when
fun.
we get to
It'll
it.
be fun. It'll be the same cast and crew that you see before your very eyes today as well.
Same cast as you see here, except I'm out of the DM seat and Gonzo's
I'm
hopping in. This is gonna be great. I can't wait to do this with you guys all again. Let's run it back for another year and a half. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Alright, lovelies. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are
What a
going to
ride it's
end.
been.
We hope you have a wonderful new year. We will see you for Curse of Strahd in the new year.
Oh, yes, you're right!
right.
Indeed.
And don't forget, peep that art tab, by the way.
Keep the
Just
art
saying. A
tab.
little teaser for you.
Thank you so much for joining, lovelies. Keep up with us in the Discord, and we look forward to all the journeys ahead in the new year. Until then, we'll see you soon.
Have a
Bye-bye.
great new year, everybody.
Soon.
Thank you so much for
Happy
tuning
New
in.
Year.
Thank you so much.
Friends.
Bye-bye.
I can't believe it's 2013
Bye-bye.
already.
Bye bye.